to get things off to a flying start for the home team here tonight. Karachi Kings at home at the National Stadium. His opposite number at the other end, 20 yards away or so, Shahjeel Khan, a very fine striker of a cricket ball. This has been a very effective partnership in the past, and if it goes well, it could set things alight very, very early.
Especially the previous season, they have one of the record highest opening stands as well, Shahjeel and Babar do. They might have a little bit of, probably not the best side with Amir and Imad who are missing at the moment, but Shahjeel with his firepower and Babar, an absolute sublime format.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of guys that will dovetail very well, and they will feed off each other nicely. Two very, very different players running with 2 wickets. They'll have to be a little bit careful about maybe. There's Alim Dar. What a wonderful umpire he's been over the years, and Richard Illingworth as well. And we're getting plenty of action as well in the stands, which is always welcome, always nice to see. It's a tough time for us all, of course, with the COVID times. But great to see the crowd that is here. 25% of the capacity is allowed to come and watch at the Karachi leg. Mohammad Rizwan, what a year he has had. Unbelievable form for Pakistan. Reinvented himself. There was one stage where he was actually thinking about giving up T20 cricket, Aruj.
In a recent interview, he said, if somebody has already done something before, I don't want to do it because that's ordinary. I want to be extraordinary. And that's the kind of player he's developing to. Always willing to learn, always looking to get better. And I think that's what his transformation has been, especially in the T20 World Cup. And like you said, recognized by ICC as well.
Champions for the last year, of course, with the Multan Sultans. They've been a force in the PSL since 2019. Karachi Kings have always made the playoffs, but have won the trophy only once. But this is a new one. HBL PSL 7 is just about to get underway.
Well, you say that. As ever, there is just that little something, which is, it seems, the position of the side screens here at the pavilion end of the National Stadium. The things are now set. Almost.
Teething issues, Gao? Teething issues, Mr. Gao?
Oh, well, you're the one to cure those, aren't you? Shameless advertising. David Will with the ball.
Quick single. And open there it counts. Riley Rousseau just tidying up at the end. He gets this guy back on strike now. Whenever he's on strike, everyone gets excited, particularly those in the crowd.
Well, you wouldn't know it was a 25%er, would you? Because the response to seeing Babar Azam on strike is a voluble one. And those that are allowed in will make the most of it, I am absolutely certain. If he makes the most of it, he will be very, very well supported, that is for sure.
There's a DAFA PSL fact. Babar Azam was the top run scorer in HBL PSL 6. He's about to face his first ball in edition 7. Now got a swing from Willie. Out of the middle.
Good start here from Willie. Babar Azam, not only the leading run scorer for HBL PSL 6, but also the leading run scorer for the entire of HBL PSL, only one with over 2,000 runs. And he'll want to get his team to a flyer here.
Well, David Willey has pitched it up first couple of balls, which is absolutely the right thing to do to see if there's any hint of movement out there with this new ball.
That is beautifully bowled. Very hard to do anything with that. Just easing into things at the moment is David Willey. Certainly not at full tilt at the moment. They did spend quite a bit of time warming up, but once you get out in the middle, got to make sure you're very close to that. But first of all, you just want to a good understanding between him.
And that's what makes Babar so good. He knows the bowler's bowling good lines, but drop and run and still trust Sharjeel to run for that.
Well, they've opened enough together in the past to understand each other well. Babar is an athlete as well. He's quick between the wickets. Man, he had to push himself.
Of course, the left and right-handed batting combination right at the top in a T20 game can unseat one or two of the lesser experienced bowlers. Willie's very experienced. A bit of a bottom edge on that one. A little bit of movement through the air as well.
Yeah, not much bounce. Not much bounce at all. These pitches tend to be, to use a very simple word, pretty flat. Again, another reason that people win the toss here. They like chasing. They like to know what they're going to have to chase. They like that target on the board, and it just gives them all the facts they need to pace that chase. I know we're right at the start of the first innings here, but people will be gauging the pitch, looking for signs of the pace, the bounce, gauging the atmosphere for signs of any swing. And goes out in the deep at mid-wicket with 1 ball, 2 balls left in the over.
A little bit shorter, straight at that man who was just posted on the boundary, Dahani. Three for none.
Well, an uneventful start with the first over going for just 3. Plenty of time for things to change.
Here's a look at the two teams that have been selected for today. Mohammad Amir has a side strain. That's why you're not seeing him in the lineup for the Sultans, Karachi Kings. So those little planes alongside those players are all the overseas players, 4 selected on each side. Dahani. No, Imran Khan Senior, sorry. Single off the first ball of the over.
Yeah, he'll want to continue what Willie did in the first over, finish the over off really well. Got some little bit of shape away from the left-hander. The pitch again, like David, you said, very flat as most of Karachi pitches are, and Rizwan did not hesitate even once to say that he'll have a ball first.
There was absolutely no danger of that. The most astounding thing he could have done is say, we won the toss, we'll have a bat.
Straight, worked away nicely on the onside, a little bit of a knock on as well. Slight hesitation in the middle.
Well, that's a strong area for Babar, through that area between mid-wicket and mid-on. He likes it when he bowls straight at him. He works it so well onto the onside. If he timed it maybe just a fraction better, he might have found the gap as well. But there was that little bit of a sort of hiccup as the misfield came.
Yeah, he wanted 2, didn't he, Babar Azam? He wasn't happy with Sharjeel. He didn't actually run that first one quickly, Sharjeel. A little bit of a stare from the skipper.
Sharjeel is not big on running.
Using that on the leg side, just the single. Just a bit of information about the teams at this venue. It's 15 games for Karachi Kings here, and they've won 9. Sultans at this venue have played 11 and won only 4, so they're up against it a little bit. There's the conditions right now. That is perfect, absolutely perfect. Got underway at 8 p.m. local time in Pakistan. From a little bit wide of the crease that time.
A bit of a subdued start here from Karachi Kings. No boundaries yet. And Imran will want to finish the over off well with the 4 singles at the moment. They've got the field well worked out. Fisher Jail for the left-hander. His pickup shot really strong off the short of the length delivery. So they've got the deep backward square and the deep mid-wicket. And everyone in on the offside. They did that for the last ball for Willie's over as well.
Wily character, Imran Khan Senior. Nicely played on the up, found the gap. Again, just a single though. He likes hitting boundaries, Shajil.
That's pretty much the first delivery that hasn't been dead straight from either of these opening bowlers. Just that little bit of width. Didn't quite time it. And I think there's just an element of getting used to the pace of the pitch here. So it didn't quite have the power in it, but having found the gap, that it was able to beat the mid off as well. It was the first occasion that either batsman's had a real chance to try and get back through ball.
New captain and new coach. The Karachi Kings this year. Babar Azam is captain instead of ML1T. Whipped that away onside. He loves playing that shot and he plays it superbly. Like that for timing.
8 for none, 12 for none. So 12 for none after 2. That first boundary, typical Babar Azam. Midland leg, he just works these so easily, so well. And that's the first time also that the timing and the placement have come together to find the boundary. It's a game of very, very small margins.
I mentioned that Babar Azam is the new captain for Karachi Kings. Peter Moores also is the new coach, former England coach, and also now Knots. Leg side, he loves him there. He's got that away superbly. That's a fine stroke from Sergio.
Again, a strength for the left-hander. And again, just a little bit offline. That's all it takes on good pitches. But it doesn't take long for these guys to get going. Just that little bit of length dropped, so a little bit too short. And that gives Shahjul the chance to play one of his favourite shots. He's very quick on those front foot or no front foot. Very quick.
First TikTok super for wayward in line and length, and easy pickings there for Shahjul.
Just a slight little look there too from Shahjul, just to see if they've made any difference. They have. They've moved that man a little bit finer. Tight. That line is tight from David Willey.
Both the boundaries we've also seen have been bowlers who've slightly wavered in line and length. The flick off the legs from Babar in the previous over of Imran's last delivery, and even this boundary. Babar's beautiful flick of his pads from Imran, where he wavered just in line a little bit.
You could watch that time and time again. He's such a wonderful player in that region. With leg side, but pad involved. Rizwan does well.
Yeah, just looking back for a moment to the first over of the innings from David Willey. There's just that little bit of swing, a little bit of movement with the new ball, but the lines are so good. That one was pace off and didn't bounce. By and large, the lines, first 4 balls, all dead on line. And that's what you want in the opening overs of any match, but especially a T20 where you want to make the batsman play, but you don't want to give him any room to play his shots. So just those couple of times since that, at either end, we've seen lines and lengths disappear a little bit, have been costly.
Oh, that's short. High on the back though, safe enough on the bounce. Worth trying. Brave to try it, but certainly worth trying early.
Tried the short one with Babar. He was lucky, he probably didn't time that very well, otherwise might have landed straight in the hands of the backward square leg fielder. Got on the top of the bat. But a good change up here from Willey.
He was under pressure with the first ball that went for 4. Since then, he's come back pretty well, David Willey. Can he finish this over, though? 2 balls to go.
And the other point about that last shot was that Babar had come down the pitch. So he wasn't in the comfort zone for the hook shot, which is a yard or 2 behind where he had to take it. So that's good work. Again, good spotting by David Willem.
Oh, he's picked that up. He's picked it up superbly. That's 6 runs. Superb shot.
Stride ever so quickly here, Sharjeel, and that's one of his absolute strengths. Anything just a fraction short, he is ready and waiting, and those hands and those wrists are just so quick onto the ball. First, a Saka power hit of HBL PSL 7.
So 12 off the over now with 1 ball to go. Big over this one for Karachi. Looking to squeeze it through, not there. That's a dot ball to finish. 3 overs gone, 24 for none.
Well, it's amazing how quickly the pace of an innings can change. We're only 3 overs in. First 2 seems relatively benign and quiet and peaceful and almost un-T20 like. But suddenly things have ignited, just like the fireworks an hour ago that marked the end of the opening ceremony here. There's a long way to go yet, and by the look of it, a lot of runs to come yet as well. Sharjeel on 15, Babar on 8. (15 from 11, 8 from 7 respectively. And I suppose on a normal day, that's pretty much how it works for Karachi Kings, with Sharjeel setting the pace. Babar will normally set himself to bat for a long, long time.
Dahani now leading wicket taker in HBL PSL edition 6. And a magnificent event. He's got some serious pace. That's a half volley straight to the man at mid-off. Just a single.
It is absolutely a pleasure to watch when Dahani comes onto the field. The smile he brings, the energy he brings, and we saw him rise to the occasion in the previous edition, and he'll probably want to repeat that. Not easy facing when bowling to Sharjeel and Babar, especially when they're starting to look good now.
Just the 1 over from Imran Khan Senior. That went for 9, so the change, and that's often the case, just the 1 over from a bowler at the start. Change to get Dahani back into the lineup now, or into the lineup I should say, and he's someone who is a wicket taker. It's the best way to describe him. 20 wickets in the last edition.
Well, as Arouj was saying, he is one of those characters that you warm to almost immediately. He obviously loves the game, loves playing his cricket.
Yeah, we're going to be hunting the Brighto fan of the match throughout this game as well. Lucky fan is going to win a signed ball after the game. Slice that away. There is protection though. Rizwan knows his angles when Sharjeel's on strike.
Yeah, there would have been all the usual analysis before this tournament started, and of course the likes of Rizwan and Sharjeel will know each other well. They'll have seen each other play in this competition many a time. Everyone knows how players have played before. It's just a question of whether or not people develop new tricks.
It's a strong drive. No run the result from the recently crowned ICC One Day International Player of the Year.
just the 2 runs now from the 4 deliveries from Dahani, clocking up some pace, 144 within the over as well. He's bowled the 1 delivery.
It's really good work from Dahani. Just a couple of runs off the first 4 balls. And that's beautifully bowled. Superb stuff. You can't do too much with that sort of delivery. That sort of length is priceless in T20 cricket.
Nothing wrong with a good Yorker. And that was almost as good as it gets. Certainly cuts off the shot-making opportunities. Doesn't quite have that absolute Yorker length to squeeze through under the bat, but it's mighty close.
So is that then an attempted Yorker, or is that a Yorker?
I shall take legal advice on this. It was almost a Yorker.
Bottom edge. There's one, so like a little jack in the box there. 4 gone, 26 for none.
Now that gives me the chance then to discuss the attempted Yorker versus the genuine 100% gold-plated copper-bottomed Yorker, which is the one that sneaks through. The attempted Yorker is meant to be a Yorker, and it's almost a Yorker. And the difference is infinitesimal, but it does give you the chance to use the extra word.
Yes, so it was a very well bowled attempted Yorker. If you agree or disagree, please answers on a postcard. Run rate is at 6.5 at the moment. 4 overs gone, 26 for none. These 2 guys like batting together. They like setting a nice little tone right at the top for Karachi Kings. Change of ends, Imran Khan Sr. Just died a little bit on the pet one. Toe end, a bit of chalk needed perhaps for Shajil.
And we've already seen him play the pickup shot when the length is slightly shorter. Here they're trying to probably pitch it in slightly fuller and still trying him to get play across the line, probably for a top edge or maybe sneak in an LBW.
Straight again and worked superbly, but just for 1.
Again, that comes back to knowing the man. That's where it's ever so strong. The risk you take is you bowl straight, you allow him to work it through mid-wicket, you try and keep him down to 1 rather than just blasting it through there for 4. But the risk you take is if you're slightly offline and it goes behind square, there's no one there to cut off the boundary. So it really does rely on the bowler, Imran here, following orders, absolutely to the letter.
Let's pick that up. Wasn't that short. Nothing wrong with that delivery, actually.
And again, Rizwan doesn't mind this either, nor does Imran, because they've got men covering that shot. One at deep square leg, and the one who fielded this one, who is at sort of deep mid-wicket, slightly wider. So those are his strengths. Those, I mean, anything in that area, he's going to have a go in exactly that way. But the men are there to cope with it.
Yeah, he's got the ability to pounce on anything that's slightly short. Looking for the big shot across the line again. Babar Azam.
Still looks like there's something in the pitch here for the good length area. You just saw the 2 boundaries from Sharjeel off short of a length, which he managed to pick up. But the ones which have been pitched slightly fuller, we saw Babar miss a few as well. Got the inside edge here, trying to work it away on the legs.
wonder if they're just getting a little bit edgy here. That run rate is dropping a little bit. They haven't got out the blocks as quickly as they would have liked. That very good over from Dahani has got them thinking about boundaries. Hard down the ground. That has been thrashed for 4. That's a fine stroke.
So what was that worry about boundaries? That is the way to counter that. It's a bright-o, colourful drive, and it's a beautiful one too. Dead straight down the ground. The only way you get any straighter is hitting it straight back at the stumps. But he doesn't need to move his feet, this guy Shahjul. He doesn't like moving his feet. He just gets his balance right and he gets those hands through. And he gives it a mighty clunk.
Yep, balance was key there. You don't want to be getting in the way when he hits them really hard. Never a fielder down the ground, so very safe shot and a good one. First bound in a couple of overs here.
2 men outside the circle are both on the leg side, so there's no protection. Straight. Ball on the offside. That's gone past the bat. That's the end of the 5th over. Good ball to finish. 34 for none.
बाबर आजम बड़े स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं स्क्वायर ऑफ द विकेट। 34 का आगाज है, 5 ओवर्स का खेल मुकम्मल हुआ है। धीमा भी नहीं कह सकते, बहुत धुआंधार भी नहीं कह सकते, लेकिन शायद पहला मैच है पूरे टूर्नामेंट का। वकार यूनुस मेरे साथ हैं, आई थिंक असेस कर रहे हैं कंडीशंस को इस वक्त दोनों बैटर्स।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सिकंदर, अस्सलाम वालेकुम टू सारे व्यूअर्स को जो ये मैच देख रहे हैं। थोड़ा स्लो स्टार्ट ज़रूर है कराची का, लेकिन क्योंकि विकेट नहीं खोई उन्होंने तो आई थिंक कंफर्टेबल होंगे। पिच जिस तरह की तवक्को थी उस तरह का नहीं खेल रही, पिच थोड़ा सा स्लो खेल रही है। अच्छी बॉलिंग, बॉल उस तरीके से बल्ले में नहीं आ रहा। हमने देखा है कि कुछ बॉलें जो आगे भी फेंकी गई सिवाय 1-2 के जिस पे चौके लगे हैं, वरना मुश्किल था। बॉल थोड़ा सा रुक के ऐसे लग रहा आ रहा है। शर्जील 22 रन पर खेल रहे हैं, 18 गेंदें उन्होंने खेली हैं अभी तक। तो एनीथिंग अराउंड मेरा ख्याल है सिकंदर 45 के करीब कहीं पे भी कराची खुश होगा विकेट को देखते हुए। अभी ये नहीं मालूम कि ये विकेट सेकंड टाइम पे कैसा खेलेगा, लेकिन अभी इस वक्त आई थिंक कंफर्टेबल होंगे कराची वाले।
शॉट, ये इनका स्ट्रॉन्ग जोन है, 4 रन हासिल कर लेंगे। इमरान ताहिर ने कोशिश जरूर की थी लेकिन नहीं रोक पाए इसको।
PSL 6 में देखा था कि धानी थोड़ा गेंद पीछे करते थे, जहां पे इनको बहुत सारी सक्सेस भी मिली, लेकिन अभी तक जो उन्होंने बॉलिंग की है, बॉल आगे फेंका है। मिडिल स्टंप पे गेंद जरूर था, लेकिन क्योंकि लेंथ आगे थी तो आसान था शर्जील के लिए उसको पिकअप शॉट खेलना। इमरान की अच्छी एफर्ट, लेकिन गेंद तेजी से चला गया बाउंड्री के लिए। जो ही आप थोड़ा सा गेंद पीछे करते हैं, आसान नहीं होता, बल्ले में नहीं आ रहा। ये भी कोई इतना अच्छा गेंद नहीं था। लेंथ बेशक बेहतर थी, लेकिन डायरेक्शन जो लाइन थी, 2 रन हो सकते थे। शर्जील थोड़े से सुस्त दिखाई दिए।
थोड़ा सा डेंजर जोन है बॉलर के लिए ऑन द हिप्स। अगर आप शर्जील वो करते हैं, ये बड़ा अच्छा पिकअप करते हैं यहाँ से बॉल। लकी रहे शाहनवाज के क्लियर नहीं किया शॉट फाइनल को, और मिसफील्ड से रन हासिल जरूर हुआ। 2 रन ले लिए। एक है इमरान खान सीनियर थे फील्डर।
कहीं ना कहीं शर्जील ये जरूर कह रहे होंगे कि धानी बच गया यहाँ पे, क्योंकि गेंद लेग स्टंप पे था और वो फेवरेट शॉट थी शर्जील की।
गेंद तेज, पेस अच्छी है शाहनवाज दानी की, फुलर लेंथ, बल्ले के नीचे से गेंद गुजरा।
धानी को पहले ओवर में ही देखा कि पेस ठीक ठाक तरीके से आ रही है। 144 पर भी गेंद किया है, ये आखिरी गेंद ऑलमोस्ट 142 पर था। तो आगे वाला बॉल थोड़ा सा कहीं ना कहीं बैट्समैन को प्रॉब्लम होती है अगर बिल्कुल फुल लेंथ था। नॉर्मली बाबर इसको बहुत अच्छे तरीके से खेलते हैं थर्ड मैन पे, लेकिन पड़ने के बाद शायद गेंद थोड़ा सा हिला, जिधर बाबर ने इसको मिस किया।
तेजी से सिंगल मुकम्मल किया, पावर प्ले खत्म हुआ और पावर प्ले के इख्तिताम पे 41 बगैर किसी नुकसान के कराची किंग्स। छह ओवर्स के बाद 41 बगैर किसी नुकसान के कराची किंग्स आज बैटिंग की दावत दी मुल्तान ने टॉस जीतने के बाद। टिम डेविड आए हैं बॉलिंग करने के लिए। उन्होंने बड़ी उम्दा बैटिंग की थी पिछले सीजन में, बड़ी शानदार परफॉर्मेंस देखी। यह है पावर प्ले और 41 बनाने में ये शॉट शामिल हैं। ज्यादातर स्कोरिंग शर्जील की रही इसमें।
थोड़ा सा गेंद जब आगे किया तो पनिश किया शर्जील ने, थोड़ा पीछे हुआ। शर्जील अच्छी फॉर्म में जरूर दिख रहे हैं, तो कराची के लिए ये बड़ी खुशाइन बात है। लेंथ मेरे हिसाब से थोड़ा सा आगे। टिम डेविड आए हैं बॉलिंग करने के लिए। ऑफ स्पिन, मेनली बैटिंग से जाने जाते हैं ज्यादा, लेकिन कप्तान ने उनको बुलाया ऑफ स्पिन के लिए। देखते हैं ऑफ स्पिन कितना अच्छा करते हैं। पार्ट टाइम लगे पहली बॉल से।
डियो का कितना जो है दखल रहेगा मैचेस में, देखते हैं एरन क्या बताती है।
Just down on the boundary, and I thought I'd just give you a conditions update. The dew is actually starting to come in thick and fast now. Obviously, there's not a lot of wind around. The hair is not moving at all, and as we said, there was a massive drop in the degrees from 23 just down to 12 today. So you'd imagine that that's going to play a part with the ball coming out nicely for the batsmen as this game progresses.
तीन फील्डर्स लिए हुए डीप में ऑन साइड पे जो बाउंड्री राइडर्स हैं। आई थिंक रोल ज्यादातर हमने देखा है कराची की हिकमत अमली ऐसी ही रही है। शर्जील को फ्री हैंड दिया जाता है और बाबर जो है फिर वो उसके साये में अपनी स्ट्राइक रोटेशन करते रहते हैं। 28 बनाने 21 गेंदों पर।
थोड़ा सा गेंद रुका, थोड़ा सा फंसा। कराची को ये जरूर सोचना होगा कि कितने रन चाहिए होंगे, क्योंकि ड्यू फैक्टर भी थोड़ा सा आ रहा है। तेज किया हुआ गेंद, थोड़ा सा स्पिन हुआ, ये डाउट क्रिएट कर देता है। अगर थोड़ा सा गेंद ग्रिप कर जाए तो फिर बैट्समैन थोड़ा सा एहतियात मोहतात हो जाते हैं। इमरान ताहिर भी अभी मौजूद हैं, जो कि अभी बॉलिंग के लिए आएंगे। सो ट्रम्प कार्ड होंगे मुल्तान सुल्तान के लिए।
बाहर आते हुए देखा तो अपनी लेंथ को छोटा किया फौरन टिम डेविड ने, सिंगल्स हासिल हुआ और स्कोर हो गया 46 बगैर किसी नुकसान। इमरान ताहिर आ गए हैं अटैक में। काफी अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस रही है इनकी मुल्तान सुल्तान के लिए पिछले सीजन में भी। इनको तरजीह दी गई थी इनके एक्सपीरियंस की वजह से उस्मान कादिर के ऊपर। उस्मान कादिर अब ज़ल्मी का हिस्सा है। थ्रू आउट इस HBL PSL 7 में आपके लिए बेशुमार जीतने के मौके हैं और आपने जवाब देना है इस सवाल का पाक व्यू सिटी के फेसबुक पेज पर जाकर। कौन था चैंपियन PSL 6 का? आप इसका जवाब दीजिए और डेली मोबाइल फोन्स जीतिए और साथ में घर भी जीत सकते हैं आप। एंड ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट घर जीत सकते हैं। वेरी गुड।
देखना ये है कि घर कितना बड़ा है। अच्छा बॉल, बहुत ही अच्छा बॉल। एक्सपीरियंस मैटर करेगा PSL 7 में। इमरान ताहिर 42 साल की उम्र और अभी भी गेंद जब अच्छी जगह पे गिराते हैं तो मुश्किल होती है बैट्समैन के लिए। गूगली थी, बड़ी अच्छी जगह पर गिरी और बोल्ड होते होते बच गए। बहुत ही उम्दा बॉल खेलना चाहते थे मिड विकेट की तरफ, कंप्लीटली मिस कर गए।
ऐसा लगा रीड तो कर गए थे। ये बॉल भी जो है, जो कि इमरान ताहिर यूजुअली अपने एक ओवर में करते हैं अच्छी स्टॉक डिलीवरीज, लेकिन ये किस तरह से बचा है स्टंप्स को ना लगने से, ये बिल्कुल हैरत हुई है।
बहुत ही करीबी मामला था। 49 पे कोई विकेट नहीं। थोड़ा रन रेट स्लो है, मैं ये जरूर कहूंगा कराची का। जबकि आपने विकेट कोई नहीं गिरी तो ये रन रेट ऊपर जाना चाहिए। बड़े अच्छे वक्त पर लेकर आया है इमरान ताहिर को कप्तान रिजवान।
बताइए कि चैंपियन कौन था HBL PSL 6 का? और ये है पाक व्यू कॉन्टेस्ट का सवाल इस साल के HBL PSL 7 में। और आप जानते हैं कि फेसबुक पेज पे जाइए, जवाब दीजिए, रोज मोबाइल फोन जीतिए और आप एक घर भी जीत सकते हैं लीग के आखिर में। अभी तक तो सिंगल्स पे ही भरोसा किया हुआ है कराची ने। 8 ओवर्स हो गए, 51 बगैर किसी नुकसान। टपाल्टी लाउंज है और ये टपाल्टी के फैंस मौजूद हैं। क्या सोच रहे हैं, किस टीम को क्या सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, क्या लगता है? कराची किंग्स, ये तो कराची किंग्स के सपोर्टर हैं डेफिनेटली। आ रहा है टपाल्टी लाउंज है, ये मौसम भी है चाय का।
क्रूशल ओवर है मेरी नजर में। बाबर आजम और शर्जील को अब गेम को जरा मूव करना चाहिए। अच्छी बॉल। ऐसा लगता है कि बॉलर को मालूम था कि बाबर मिड विकेट खेलना चाहते हैं, इसलिए पूरा फुल लेंथ बॉल किया। बहुत ही उम्दा सोच।
अब लगता है शर्जील को जो लाइसेंस मिला हुआ है बड़ी बड़ी हिट्स लगाने का, वो कोई ना कोई चांस जरूर लेंगे इस ओवर में, क्योंकि इसका एहसास ऐसा लग रहा है कराची अब फील कर रहा है। थोड़ा सा रेंज से दूर करने की कोशिश की, बच गए। बीट नहीं कर पाए सर्कल में शान मसूद को।
कराची का मसला ये है कि जब कोई गेंद बुरा भी मिलता है उसको भी वो फिर स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं कि उसको बाउंड्री पर भेजने के लिए। हवा में और ये जाएगा 6 रन के लिए। ये सही तरीका है। क्राउड में गया ये बॉल। शर्जील का पहला छक्का, बहुत ही उम्दा स्ट्रोक। शर्जील का दूसरा छक्का। एक्चुअली बॉल इतना अच्छा नहीं था, फुल टॉस था, ऑलमोस्ट वेस्ट हाइट तक था और फ्री हिट मैं कहूंगा। डेविड ने दी। ओसाका पावर हिट, बहुत ही शानदार और बहुत ही बड़ा छक्का।
इसकी जरूरत भी थी कराची किंग्स को, कहीं ना कहीं प्रेशर रिलीज करना है। गलत हो गया गेंद इनसे हाथ से और फुल टॉस कर बैठे टिम डेविड यहाँ पे, लेकिन अभी भी मुल्तान ने कंट्रोल किया हुआ है अपने हाथ में चीजों को। 4 चौके 2 छक्के अभी तक लगे हैं। जोन में नहीं आ रहा, जो कंफर्ट जोन कह सकते हैं शर्जील का है। पावर हिटिंग का स्टडी किया हुआ लग रहा है किस तरह से टैकल करना है शर्जील को। यहाँ अच्छी कप्तानी अभी तक नजर आई है बॉलिंग चेंजेस में, तो ये फिर से करनी पड़ेगी गेंद।
थोड़ा घबरा गए डेविड, रेगुलर बॉलर नहीं है, पार्ट टाइम बॉलर हैं। थोड़ा सा जल्दी सोच बैठे कि शायद शर्जील उनको बड़ा हिट लगाने जाएंगे, लगाने तो जाएंगे। ये देखिए, ये है बड़ा हिट और इस ओवर का दूसरा छक्का और उससे भी बड़ा छक्का। सामने की बाउंड्री थोड़ी बड़ी जरूर है, लेकिन शर्जील जब हिट लगाते हैं तो वो ग्राउंड के अंदर कम ही रहती है।
जो आप लोग क्रिकेट की जबान में कहते हैं कि मुंह में गेंद कर दिया। दूसरा छक्का इस ओवर में, बहुत ही शानदार शॉट, बिल्कुल गेंद के नीचे आया और बहुत ही बड़ा छक्का लगाया। जैसे आपने बताया, सबसे बड़ा छक्का इनके 3 छक्कों में से।
अब कराची को समझ आई कि कैसे मूव करना है। अब आप देखेंगे कि और बड़ी हिटें लगेंगी।
वाइड हो सकता था बॉल, बल्ला लग ही गया कहीं ना कहीं गेंद को। इसका एहसास है शर्जील को। 9 ओवर हो गए, 65 बगैर किसी नुकसान। ऑप्शंस काफी हैं मुल्तान के पास। आपने भी जिक्र किया है एहसान उल्लाह का, इनके पास स्पिन अगर करना है तो खुशदिल शाह भी है। तो ये वैरायटी तो काफी मौजूद है। आपको लगता है कि अभी यंगस्टर का मौका आ सकता है बॉलिंग का?
सिकंदर, इशू ये होता है कि जब आप नॉन रेगुलर बॉलर को एक आधा ओवर कराते हैं तो बैट्समैन उसको भी देख रहे होते हैं, तो उसमें ओवर कई दफा निकल जाता है और वो ऐसा ही हुआ डेविड का। हवा में गेंद, पहली विकेट शायद गिरेगी और गिर गई और बड़ी विकेट। इमरान ताहिर अपने जो उनका तरीकाकार होता है, जिस तरह वो एंजॉय करते हैं, जिस तरह सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, उसी तरीके से गेंद स्पिन हुआ, गूगली था, पॉइंट पे बड़ा आसान कैच शान मसूद का।
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल। एक पार्ट टाइम और एक स्पेशलिस्ट स्पिनर का यही फर्क है और उन्होंने शर्जील को आउट करके वापसी का रास्ता दिखा दिया। वही टारगेट था मिड विकेट का एरिया, लेकिन गेंद अवे स्पिन हो रहा है और बाहरी किनारा लिया। सोएब मकसूद ने इसको कैच किया और यह है जुबली सेफ हैंड्स। शान मसूद ने इसको कैच किया, पहली कामयाबी दिलाई है, पहली विकेट HBL PSL 7 की। 43 बना के शर्जील आउट, 66 एक आउट कराची। कामयाब बॉलर। पिछली बार डिबेट छिड़ी थी, हमारे पास टाइम भी कम है, कि यंगस्टर ओवर एक्सपीरियंस, काफी वेट करते रहे उस्मान कादिर अपनी बारी का, लेकिन फ्रेंचाइज ऑब्वियसली जीतना चाहती है। एक्सपीरियंस, दूसरी अपॉर्चुनिटी, क्या बाबर आजम खतरे में है? नहीं, पहले बाउंस पर रायली रूसो ने कट ऑफ किया इसको।
सिकंदर, साइड बाउंड्रीज थोड़ी सी बड़ी हैं इस दफा। देखा जा रहा है कि एक साइड की बाउंड्री 70 की है और दूसरी की 69। ये बॉल भी थोड़ा सा नीचे रहा। बाबर आजम चाहते थे कि थोड़ा बाउंस होता और उनके बल्ले में आता। अच्छी फील्डिंग रायली रसो की, लेकिन बॉल उतने अच्छे तरीके से बैट पे आ नहीं रहा जिस तरह बाबर चाहते हैं।
जो क्लार्क नए आने वाले बैट्समैन और सामना करेंगे इमरान का। साइड एज,
एक्सपीरियंस इमरान ताहिर को मालूम है कि गूगली शायद नहीं रीड करेंगे क्लार्क, और वाकई नहीं रीड की। उतनी स्पिन नहीं हुई। गेट बनाना चाहते थे बल्ले और पैडों के बीच में से। प्रॉब्ली 2 ओवरों में ये पहला गेंद है जो थोड़ा खराब किया है। 68 पर 1-10 के बाद।
Years, whichever team he plays for, very clever at reading batsmen. Comfortable with his variations. Got Joe Clark in there now. Joe Clark plays his cricket at Nottinghamshire, back in England. So his coach, Peter Moores, will know him pretty well. He's a really fine player. A fine player in the making too, in all formats. Test cricket. Be surprised if he doesn't play Test cricket in the near future. So Tim David, the experiment has finished. Kushtil. Again, he looks like he's going to bowl the same way. Try and get it up underneath the bat, rather, of the batsman. Hazy joins us. Wakar's with us as well.
Yeah, here's the wicket. It was that Rogan, which he likes bowling often. And it did the damage with Shazil. And such a good performer over the years, of course. Imran Tahir in the middle overs, that's when he's key. Not only the fact that he keeps the runs down, but as we've seen already in this game, he has the ability to pick up sticks. Hello, Waka.
How's it going, guys? Good to have you guys back. Yeah, good start from Karachi, but just that wicket of Shajil. Yeah, really a little bit of a setback. He looked in a good touch. He couldn't really pick the googly. Easy catch by Sean. But I feel that it's just a little slow going. Nick, you were out there with the pitch report, and you thought the pitch would play a bit better. Look at a spin there. Maybe it's in the air. Will that be caught? Yes, caught. Second wicket here. Willie taking the catch.
Yeah, terrific bowling change, good captaincy, good change, and Baba were never quite at his best today. Quite find the middle of the bat. Just feel that he's thinking they're just a little bit behind now, Karachi, and they need to push on. Well, that's the finish of an excellent start for Multan.
This is one of the few occasions where I've seen Babar Azam not fluent, not as fluid as he normally is. And he certainly didn't get the pace this track, or maybe the lack of pace. Good catch, Jubilee safe hands from David Willey. He is absolutely delighted, as you can imagine. Really good work to pick up that wicket. That is such a massive wicket, it really is. That's going to change the face of the whole game for a while. 23 off 29 deliveries. The Karachi Kings now 71 for 2.
Next up.
Nabi, very good, very resourceful, very experienced player, and he'll need all of that right now. A couple of quick wickets, just put his team on the back foot. Hit a turn. Looking at the pitch whack, and you asked me about it. 71 for 2. Just a little bit of uneven pace bounce. There's a lot of cracks. You can see he knew there. He knew there he hadn't quite got it. He just held in the pitch. And a good catch.
Well, I was expecting the pitch to play a little bit better than that. I thought the weather is cooler. Okay, fair enough. There's no real grass on the pitch. But I feel that it would have come onto the bat nicer, but really proved us all wrong. It's a good pitch to ball on, especially for the spinners. Even the pacers, when they were bowling, it wasn't really coming onto the bat. Even the new ball.
Catch it! Done. Hey. Rally, give it.
Oh, there's an overthrow now.
No, didn't need that. Just cost them an extra.
Ball.
Right on top at the moment, Multan.
Imran Tahir is one of those guys who has the variation. Now, a lot of people know that he's wrong and is the wicket-taking delivery, which is what we've seen already. But the ball that's the most important ball to him is his slider. That's the one that he hinges his whole game on, the slider. You'll see every now and then for a new batsman, he'll have the wrong end, but the slider is the key one that he gets involved with. That is the one that he says is his most important delivery. Just sets up everything else in his own mind from that delivery.
He almost got another run out. Would have been easily the third wicket. It was 1 wicket to aim. Got a good throw. A little bit of dew out there, so Imran Tahir might be struggling to grip the ball now. Once the ball gets a little older, it's not easy for the spinners to grip it. He bowled beautifully. The first couple of overs, he got the googly right on the line. His last couple of deliveries just pushed it a little bit harder, I feel. That's better. A little bit slower, allowing the ball to spin a bit, creating doubt in batsman's mind.
Yeah, there will be some dew around the place, and we expect that, and I think everyone that was getting ready for the tournament expected that. But what it does do is it makes the toss so important, and of course the fact that Mohammad Rizwan won the toss and elected to bowl first has given them a big advantage. Chasing's good in T20 cricket, but also if there's a bit of dew around, it's a bit easier.
Well, for now, that's the best they can do. Just knock it around, try and build the partnership quickly. 76 now for 2. He's a terrific young player. He's played a lot of cricket now around the world. He's in the Big Bash, had a good tournament. Developing player. I've watched him a lot over the last couple of years. I'd say he's probably one of 3 that's really developed his game quite dramatically in the last year or so. Saqib Mahmood would be another. Liam Livingston. Play all formats of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned you've seen a lot of him, Nick, over the years. He's 25 years of age now. Quite remarkable that when he was 22 years of age, he'd already scored 12 first-class hundreds. What a terrific burst to his career.
Yeah, he's really strong off the back foot. And Wacky, you guys will both know how important that is in Test cricket. First-class cricket, plays really well off the back foot. And I think that'll set him up nicely when he gets into Test match cricket. I think it's going to happen at some point. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't. But he's got a really good all-round game.
Well, this is going to be his test, because coming here, playing in these sort of conditions, slow pitches, He'll probably learn a lot from this, but playing in England or playing other part of the world is a different story altogether. And going in with 2 wickets down is not easy.
Yo, man.
They have to rebuild the whole thing. They were going quite strong. Suddenly 2 wickets down. Now what? Will Babar think that, okay, what sort of total do I need? Do I need 170 or 150, 155 will be enough? I think he's got to rethink.
Quick look at all the numbers shows that Karachi Kings end up getting around the 150 mark no matter where they're playing in PSL. That's pretty much their benchmark, but they've got some work to do here to get there.
Such a good skill. If you're reading the game situation, we love watching 4s and 6s and all action stuff, but if you read the game well, you know what a good score is, and you know what you need to get your team to, that is a prized asset, and that's what both these need right now, because the dew is coming down. That'll affect conditions later on, and only those out there know.
And of course, Karachi Kings at their home ground. You know, lots of chat, lots of communication with some of the new players like Clark coming into the squad. Some of the senior pros would have been advising as to the conditions and what to expect and how to go about it. 13 gone, 81 for 2.
Yes, Sanola. Might be the type of pitch that you enjoy facing the slightly quicker bowlers on. Might just come on a little easier. So that'll be a challenge for Sanola. Right. Righto, colourful fan of the match. If you win that, and I'm going to nominate the fella there with the green glasses. You're nominated, sir. You get a ball signed at the end of the match. You're my fan of the match.
Are you going to sign the ball?
I don't know. No, they don't want my signature. But I don't know if our producer's going to. I don't know how they decide that, but there you go. We're giving you a good chance, mate.
You've seen this guy quite a bit, Waka. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've seen him quite a bit actually. He used to come as a net bowler when we were there at the NCA Cricket Academy, and then he has developed a lot. He hasn't played any first-class cricket. He's been picked by Multan Sultans out of the nets, and decent action, runs in pretty nicely. He had some issues with his run-up, but definitely nippy. He can bowl heavy balls. I mean, probably not now. He's bowling the 14th over. The ball is not going to go through that nicely, but likes to bowl that short length, shorter for the length, and gets that extra kick off the pitch. This is a slow pitch, don't forget. So I feel that if he carries on playing and keep working hard on his game, on his fitness, I feel that he's got bright future.
I've just been watching Mohammad Rizwan too, and he's come into attack. Yes, he's a youngster, and obviously he's got some ability. And just the communication from Rizwan, I mean, I just love the way he goes about his cricket. And I think a lot of people around the world have really enjoyed the way he goes about it. He's got so much energy in the field when he's captain. And in fact, when he's not with Pakistan, he's exactly the same. He's like what is it? The energy some bunny who jumps around forever and ever and ever.
He's got lots of energy. He wants to play cricket all the time, Mohammad Rizwan. He doesn't want to miss a game. He had few issues with his back, but he's one of those characters. Even in the World Cup, he had issues with his back, but he wants to be out there. He wants to be part of the action. A lot of energy, a lot of. He's a good leader, I would say. He won the championship last time around. Good wheels, good pace. Ball sort of nipped back a little bit.
Yeah, he's not been predictable as he mixed up his length. I pick up on your point from Rizwan. Wouldn't you love that as a player? You want your captain to have that energy, particularly in this format of the game, because it's such small margins. Margins between 4 and 6 and wicket for your bowlers is tiny. And I guess if you've got a captain that really appreciates that, it kind of takes the nerves away a little bit, maybe.
Exactly right, and there should be more of those captains. You don't see that often enough at a high level of T20 cricket in particular, because often there's not too much time, but Rizwan has got it down pat.
Oh, that's a terrific... Well, that's excellent running as well. Good cricket all round, because that's a really good over. Mixed his pace up, mixed his length up, 85 for 2.
Well, the Kings have got their work cut out here. Things are not going their way. They were at 6.5 runs per over after the first 4 overs. They didn't capitalise at all from there. They now dropped to 6 runs and over, and they've still got 8 wickets in hand, so they've got to try and work something here, get some of their big hitters in maybe, try and get some boundaries. There's not too many overs left, and these guys are hustling through these overs pretty well at this stage, and as you can see by the projected score, just 121. That's not going to compete, I wouldn't have thought, in game number 1 of the HBL PSL 7.
Right, David Willey, well with the new ball, a little bit of swing. He won't get much swing now, if any, at all. So he'll have to be at those stumps. Come on, Wacky, what are you looking to do now? You've got the ball in hand. I know what you'd have done in the heyday. You'd have been swinging it around corners. But for these lads, what are they trying to do?
I think what Ehsanullah is doing, I think he's doing the right thing. He's mixing up his length. He's trying to bang it short because of the slowness of the pitch. He's being effective, and the odd one fuller length. For Willie, I would say a different tactics. He's not as pacey as Ehsanullah, so he's got to bring his slower ones and Yorker lengths and like that. I mean, that wasn't really the quickest of the deliveries. No, they got to be sharp in the field. Willie's not going to be happy with that. But that's what I think Karachi's got to do. Just keep nudging the ball, get into the last 3 overs or 4 overs, and then see where they are. The next 2 overs are very crucial.
Willie's big weapon right at the start was his swing the ball into the right-handers and away from the left-handers, and he's not going to have any swing now because this ball has got a little bit wet. I've got to look after this ball, so it's unlikely to swing back in, so that gives him a little bit of a starter.
Well, they're not really drying the ball. There are no towels out there, you see. So I feel that it's not that wet at the moment. It might get wet a little later, but at the moment it's pretty good. Wicket is slow, it's turning a bit. I thought the spinners bowled extremely well, picking up 2 wickets. So the cutters are going to be key here.
Yeah, to see one of these two just change the pace up a little bit. At the moment they're batting at the same pace, which I think will be happy for Rizwan and Multan. One of you go, one of you just change the pace up a little bit. We've still got plenty of batting to come.
And just to finish on that due issue, we've just got to understand that it is going to be around, and it's not bad at the moment, but I think the ball management from players these days is really good. I mean, they can look after a ball quite nicely. They can make sure it stays nice and dry. When the guys get the rags out, that's when you know it's getting very wet, and there's no rags at the moment, so they're just doing a good job managing this ball right now.
Andy just needed it dragged down. Trying to bowl wicket to wicket. Maybe it was a slower ball. I think it probably was. Just trying to get his fingers around the ball. Dragged down. Desperately needed that just to raise the spirits of the team.
I don't mind that length. It's just the line, I would say. It's a little bit leg side-ish, especially with fine leg up. You're in trouble. And that's what exactly happened. No pace at all on the ball. And on the leg side, always going to go for a boundary.
TikTok Super 4, they need a few of those. That's what they need. This over is tied at the moment. And just a single to finish the over.
Delivery. 95 for 2. Looks like it's going to be the strategic timeout.
So the end of the Tapal Danadar timeout, the strategic timeout. Let's see if that strategy makes any changes with just 5 overs left in this first innings of HBL PSL 7. And Karachi Kings are a little bit behind the pace at 95 for 2. Plenty of wickets in hand, but the pace hasn't really been there for them throughout this innings so far.
Saw a flash on the scoreboard there that said, let's play. That's what they've got to do. Karachi got their work cut out here. 5 overs remaining. They've got to get, I would think, certainly 55 runs. That's what they need. This is the work that Shahzul Khan did a little bit earlier. 43 off 31. He's always very strong on the leg side. He picks up anything. That was a strong drive. Lovely played down the ground. But anything leg side or slightly short, he can get away. And then when the spin comes into play, it's a little bit different for him. Unless he gets those friendly full tosses, then he can dispatch that. And probably that as well.
Yeah, talking of strategies, I wasn't sure about the strategy of bowling Tim David, to be honest. I know he's been bowling in Big Bash, but the odd full toss, well, didn't really help the cause. It was Tahir in the end who got Shahzul. The experience of Tahir getting the breakthrough, which kept Multan on track. That's the scorecard so far, 95 for 2. 43 to Sharjeel, just 23 less than a run a ball for Baba, Joe Clark and Mohammed Nabi in occupation at the moment. So 5 overs left in this first innings of this, the first match of HBL PSL 7. Do we feel the pitch is just a little sort of sluggish?
Yeah, I think it's a little sluggish. I think it's maybe a little bit too paced as well, to be honest. I think that if you have a situation where Babar Azam is not timing the ball and not playing fluently, then that to me spells a couple of issues.
Yeah, even if it is sluggish, you think that as the match progresses, becomes slightly cooler, maybe the ball will come onto the bat. So yes, the ball's not coming onto the bat, but you still think that the advantage is of chasing the score. And now with Karachi at 98 for 2, situation here is that you have to take those risks. If you just sit back and play low risk cricket, you're almost sort of batting yourself out of the game. It's important that they now go helter-skelter. I know David doesn't agree with big shots. He just likes that timing. No timing here.
Cream it through the covers.
That's going to be 2. I'm just going to make a note there. It's the first wind-up from Bazik Khan. Personally, man-to-man we've had in PSL 7.
First ever.
And not first ever.
It won't be the last either. Won't be the last. In fact, we're all lining up, David.
Well, there's plenty. There's 4 overs left after this. It's time for another 10. There is room for both. There's always room for both. The power men, the timers, the stroke makers. At this stage, anyone who can find the boundary, by whatever means, will count as a very useful man to have. Well, the shorter one had to wait for it. Had to wait for it. And swats it away for 1. That's it.
Yeah, it's a ball he bowls quite regularly, actually. That slower bouncer just dies as it comes towards the batsman, Imran Khan Sr. A couple of aggressive players, particularly to come in next is Gregory. He's a very aggressive batsman, a batting all-rounder. Lammonby also is a batting all-rounder. Had to work hard, I guess, in the end to just get that away. Only for 1, no pace. Had to make all the work to get down the other end.
So only singles at the moment, 1s and the odd 2. And what Karachi Kings really need is just a flurry, if they can find it, of boundaries, just to boost this score.
Even after last season, the experts or the analysts, they said that Karachi Kings, that middle order needs to fire. They thought that Karachi Kings was very top-heavy with Babar and Sharjeel. They brought in a few Englishmen who will probably strike the ball hard, but you want middle order players to really come to the party, and that's a gap in Karachi Kings' overall team from previous HBL PSL editions.
.103 for 2. Yeah, it's a fair point to make. It's all very well having your, as it were, your heavyweights, your best players at the top. If ever you then find yourself in trouble, and we're talking about a spot of trouble here at 103 for 2, because that run rate is, what, 6.5, just under 6.5? And people will feel that's underclubbed. Now, this guy, Rizwan, is, I think, one of the better captains. I know there's a bit of discussion just now about captaincy and attitudes from captains. But he backs his men. He's very much on their side at all times. Made some shrewd changes tonight. I say the one I didn't agree with was the Tim David experiment, which certainly today wasn't a particularly successful one. Tahir.
Catch it!
Oh, that's straight away the wicket, straight away the wicket. Chip back, that little leading edge, the simplest of return chances. And that's what a captain and a bowler absolutely love. First ball of a new spell, and the wicket is gifted.
And he's done it for years and years and years. I think for probably about 20 years, maybe. What is he now, 37? Yeah, it's about 20 years he's been doing this. Caught and bowled. Celebration, not running that far with the celebration this time. Back into the attack. That's his ability. That's why he's so good. He picks up wickets and also stops the runs. He's a fine player. Nabi goes for 10. 103 for 3 now. They're in trouble.
Nabi back to pavilion.
.103 for 3. First ball of the 17th over. Tom Lammonby is the man new to the crease. Oh, he's just chipped it, just wide of extra cover. Gets away with it, gets off the mark, gets his one.
Yeah, clever, really clever. It's the slower, googly, and it's just not arrived, and he's through the shot. And with the left-hander on strike, you think that he will deceive him with the googly, but it's actually the changes of pace that Imran Tahir possesses. Quicker, slower, bit of spin.
Well, there was a thought of coming back for the second. That thought has been extinguished, although, how many times today have we seen a throw end up not safely in the bowler's hands or the keeper's hands, sometimes wide, sometimes fumbled? A number of times there's been the chance of an overthrow. And there's a little bit of exchange of opinion out there at the moment.
Yeah, because he's bowled so well, he wants to look after these figures. 2 for 15 off 3.5 overs. That's his return at this stage. Brilliant start from Tahir.
Never loses his enthusiasm, does he? Nor would you wish it.
Another wrong one, perhaps.
Bowled in, it's quicker, it's shorter, it's through the attempted pull shot. 2 wickets in the over already for Imran Tahir. Wicket, 1-1 wicket so far in the first 4 balls. And this is doing serious damage to Karachi Kings.
And that's the slider. That's the ball that he values the most. He would have thought about the wrong, and then he thought, no, let me just get in, might be in the flipper, actually. It was. Beautifully bowled.
Flipper, slider, tomato, tomato. It's just quicker, it's shorter, and by God, it works.
He'll tell us, he'll say it's the flipper anyway.
And it's pretty straight and hits middle stump. So Tom Lammonby out for 1. It's 105 for 4.
Oh, beautifully bowled. That is the straight leg spinner. Straight by, I mean, orthodox and apparently unplayable too. But beautifully flighted, beautifully pitched, just turns past the outside edge. Could easily have been the 3rd wicket of the over.
You know, changes of pace, that's really floated up, and then he'll fire in the flipper. We've seen it, everything. The googly, the slow leg spinner, and then those zooters.
There's more confusion. But there is a run at the end of it. A shake from Alim Dar. What an over that was from Imran Tahir. 106 for 4. Three for 16 then in his 4 overs. And those last 2 have taken the wind out of the sails of Karachi Kings as they were seeking to try and use these last few overs to accelerate. But that's a very, very fine 4 overs. Economical, productive in the wicket-taking department. 8 dot balls included, those 4 overs as well. He has done his job for the night. Unless they need 1 to win at the end of the night in an hour or two's time.
Superb stuff from Imran Tahir. Outstanding numbers, 3 for 16 off his 4 overs. I did a little account today to see how many teams he's represented around the world. I got to 51 teams. 51 teams in his career.
How long did that take?
Yeah, it took me about half a day. That's a lot of teams.
Have you had your staff on that one? Beavering away. How many staff do you keep nowadays?
Yeah, me.
51.
Just brilliant work from him. There come the celebrations too.
I reckon he's sprint slower now.
It's slightly. It's not as long either. It's actually disappointing.
It's all right, it's first day. It's plenty of time. Another month left of this. Inside edge, just worth the 1. Slow progress still for Karachi Kings. I wonder what the fans at the Tapal Tea Lounge are thinking at this moment. Got it under control. Well, Multan Sultans indeed appear to have it under control for now. They've done everything they can to keep run rate restricted. And Sharjil's 6s were appreciated as well.
That's what they need now. They need more 6s. 12-0 gets them to 140, that's all.
Oh, that's a high full toss. That, I think, will be a no ball. So the catch is taken. Everyone realised that out on the field. Too high, above waist height. So the free hit is announced. Shahnawaz Dahani is one of those men who will shrug it off, laugh it off. He'll be annoyed at himself for sure. And just see how high that is. It's not just above waist height, it's almost above chest height.
Yeah, Karachi Kings will welcome this because there's been just 1 boundary hit after the power play. It's been all downhill. That big full toss gives the opportunity now to Joe Clark to put things right. An official warning for Dahani. Dangerous bowling.
Yeah, I'm absolutely certain there was nothing malicious or intentional. Low full toss this time, miscued. So not the most costly of free hits. Still no boundary.
No, you've got to take toll of that. You get a free hit, even though it's Dahani, and we know he's got some speed. Mid-130s is what he's bowling at the moment, that delivery anyway, but you get a full toss as well. You've got to try and put that away. Just a single gets him nowhere, really. That was an opportunity missed.
Well, that's the 3rd successive full toss. One very, very much illegal. And that one borderline, the one in between, just what you might call an ordinary full toss.
He might have heard you saying that it's a slow pitch, so he's not using the facilities at all. He's just using his space and bowling full tosses.
And the likelihood of that, Baz?
Very little.
Thank you. Right, the big question, will he hit the deck? Yep, it's finally hit the pitch. Fourth time of trying. And that's one of those areas where it is pretty hard to get away to the boundaries. So whatever you say about it, it might not be the best that he's bowled, but whatever you say about it, it's still not been particularly expensive. If you're bowling full tosses and they're getting clubbed for boundaries, that's a big problem.
This has been a game so far where Multan Sultans have just controlled this game superbly. They've done a wonderful job from the moment they won the toss. They've clamped things down right at the top with the two opening batsmen.
That's beautifully struck, but it's struck straight to the man. Rousseau is the man on the boundary there. Dahani celebrates as if that was always the plan. You never mind how you get them at this stage of a T20 match, but the fifth wicket is indeed down. Just needed a little bit more placement, a little bit more oomph, and maybe it'd been a different story. But he picks out the man beautifully, and Rousseau's hands now qualified for the award of Jubilee Safe Hands.
Yeah, couldn't get underneath it, didn't get the length. Joe Clark, 26 of 24, 110 for 5.
Another low full toss, but the man is on the edge of the circles there. It's just another single. 111 for 5 now. I mean the new batter. He and Gregory have hardly seen a ball yet. And 2 overs left, just the 2 overs left to try and do something about this apparently very low total. You never know, of course, in this game. You never know until both sides have had a go. But at the moment, you would say that Multan Sultans have done everything they need to make sure they have a nice, controllable, relatively easy target to try and chase in the second part of this game. David Willey now. Oh, just over the top of the stumps. Swing and a miss.
Got to like the way that Dahani goes about his work. Yes, that was just picked out Riley Rousseau perfectly, but one of the things about Dahani is he plays the game with a big smile on his face. Excited to pick up the wicket, and guess who's the first person to join him as well? Imran Tahir comes screaming in from some distance and joins the celebration with him. There's Dahani, look at him. Loves his celebrations.
Willey takes all the pace off this one. Safe to say that Lewis Gregory's attempted heave was completed well before the ball arrived. Yeah, Dahani had a very good season in the previous HBL PSL. 20 wickets, top of the list of the wicket takers in that competition. Finished up in Abu Dhabi, of course. And finished up with Multan Sultans as champions as well. Finally, good contact with the bat. That's placed well. That's beautifully placed. Despite the dive, it's the first boundary for about 3 hours.
Well, they need so many of those. They've got to try and get something competitive. I just don't think they're anywhere near that at this stage. There's not too many balls left in this innings. They're thinking about boundaries. They're looking to get boundaries. And you've got to give them full marks for the intent. And more full marks, I guess, for this placement. Couldn't quite stop it.
Back to plan A, if you can call it a plan. It's clever bowling from David Willey. He knows that at this stage of the game, batsmen will set themselves. They have to set themselves to look for those boundaries. And when you're attempting the big shots, taking pace off the ball is one of those tricks that quite often does the trick for the bowling side.
Also quite brave bowling. He's still hitting a length. Normally you'd think at the back end Yorker or bouncer, but the slower one on a length. And because of the fact that the ball's not coming onto the bat, the older ball, a length ball is not a bad option. Normally, with the ball skidding onto the bat at the back end, you'd think, yes, Yorker or bouncer, take out length altogether. But it's going according to plan for this man right now. And as you said, always very involved in what's going on.
This time finds the man at deep square leg. It's just a few paces to his left. 116 for 5.
Well, they've never got away. It's only a bit like a broken record at the moment, but they got to 6 runs and over right at the start, and they haven't got going at all. As you can see by that Manhattan graph. A couple of boundaries in the 3rd over, then it was sniped in the 4th. 5 and 6 were okay, then cut down again, then 9 was a very good one, but after that it's been wickets at exactly the wrong times. And just when they were starting to go at overs number 15 and 16, bang, 17, 2 wickets, bang, 18, another wicket, and now they're left with 1 over. With so much work to do.
Final over. First ball is dug in short, straight to Rousseau, and just another single.
Really good guy to bowl the last over too, Imran Khan Sr. Vastly experienced. He's done a good job so far, had to come back in 1 over spells often to do the hard yards for his captain. He's got to do it again now in over number 20.
Again, it's straight to the man. Just seems that Karachi Kings tonight just have not had that knack of finding the gaps, finding the boundaries. I know it's a slow pitch, slowest pitch, sluggish pitch. I know timing, I can sense that timing has not been easy. Nonetheless, you'd normally expect at some stage someone to connect a little bit more than they have during these 19 overs and 2 balls.
I also might add that I'm not sure they've done too much homework about facing Imran Tahir. I mean, Imran Tahir was always going to be a key weapon in this innings tonight, and look like when batsmen first arrived, they didn't really have a clue about what he was going to bowl first up.
Well, there we go. There we go. The pressure tells yet again. Imran Khan Sr. picks up the wicket. Not quite a Dehani-style celebration. For Lewis Gregory, just didn't quite have the oomph.
No ball check. Oh, hello. I think he'll be called back. What do you think, Mike?
Yep. There comes the exercise for Alan Dyer.
Well, just one of the few things that's gone well for Karachi Kings tonight as they've opened up this HBL PSL 7. So he gets another go. Just the 1 run for the no ball is scored. So 119 for 5. And we still have 4 balls left. With Amir Yamin on strike. To a ball that's very well bowled. Angled at the pads, full of length, couldn't get it away.
It's been impressive from Multan Sultans. Yes, it was a no ball, free hit, but again, almost that perfect Yorker. That big debate you had, but a perfect, well, almost perfect Yorker.
Okay. Can I just come in again on the almost a Yorker ball? If you're Yorked, the ball gets through and hits the stumps. Therefore, nothing except the one that hits the stumps is the perfect Yorker.
Yeah, that was an attempted Yorker.
Attempted Yorker, thank you.
Correct.
What about an LBW?
It's either out or not out. Oh, they've got to hurry, oh, missed it. Had to throw at the stumps. Oh, these bits are fun, aren't they? Scrambling for runs, desperately scrambling for runs at the end of this innings.
Yeah, Rizwan's always alert. He knew exactly what they were thinking about. He also can't believe that he missed the stumps. And neither can Dahani. Imran Khan Senior, I should say. That's not from too far away. It would have been out by some distance.
That was nowhere near almost an attempted run out. Good bowling again, because that is right in the block hole. Very, very hard to get away with any power. So despite that one slight flaw, the overstepping, this so far has been a really, really good final over.
And with the last ball now about to be bowled, Karachi Kings have just hit 6 4s and 3 6s in the innings. And you look at the boundary count with T20 cricket, and you just feel that that's not good enough.
And also 41 dot balls. It's nearly 7 overs of dot balls.
Final ball of the innings is clubbed away. Well, in the end, it's a good piece of work on the edge. It was a bit of a fumble to start with, but the boundary is saved. I don't know if they'll need to have a quick look at that just before we confirm the final scores of this first innings. Here we go on the boundary's edge with Tim David. Tries to scoop it up. Slips through the fingers. All depends where he is, whether he's touching that boundary cushion. It's a very... it's balletic. Well, quite clever in the end, I would suggest. So yes, no boundary to finish off with. And it means that after 20 overs, that innings is complete for Karachi Kings. They're 124 for 5. Rizwan is
the amount of numbers that's allowed, that's 25%, and they really, really back the Karachi Kings and even the rest of cricket. But that man on screen, Mohammad Rizwan, what a sublime year he's had. Taken the opportunity by the scruff of the neck, and he has never looked back since. Pakistan smashing the ICC awards as well. Clean sweep there with that man, the T20 Cricketer of the Year, and his opposing number, the ODI Cricketer of the Year.
Let's look at his HBL PSL career. Strike rate 122.45, and I think that would be entirely different if you just looked at the year gone by. A really good year for him, and leading from the front here. And Shan Masood's a good player too. A good combination, those two.
and would look to give their side a good start. Really good strike rate at 134.5, a best score of 73. And we'll look to play shots, alleviate pressure on the skipper. Bazid, no real need to play a whole lot of shots here, but why wouldn't you?
And up front, Amir Yamin will get the ball to just seam away or swing away from Shan Masood, the left-hander. And you talked about, well, they don't need to play shots. Well, this almost plays into these two openers' hands, really. You want to be in your comfort zone. You just want to feel off the tournament and to get a start where you're just not chasing too many. It might just give Shan Masood the opportunity to bat himself in and then start flourishing.
Here we go then. Quick single to start. Good intent shown. Proactive in the way they'll go about this. And whilst there's no real necessity to take the risks, you've also got to think ahead, I think. You've got to try and ensure that you're not allowing your opposition to bowl too many at you. You're practicing what you may have to do in the competition as it goes along. Net run rate many times comes into things towards the end of the group stages of any tournament, and you don't want to miss out because of that. So whilst you have the opportunity, play as you would. Use the power play.
Babar getting the field spot on here for Amir Yamin. Rightly said, Pommy. They don't want to go behind the 8 ball and still want to keep up with the run rate, not letting themselves too much at the end. So it'll be interesting to see how Rizwan gets off the mark here.
Oh, just short. It's just short. It's off the edge and just short of first slip. That's where you want to be, actually, in that channel to Rizwan.
He's bowled that really well to get the outside edge. It's clearly bounced in front of Sharjeel. And that seems to be the nature of the pitch, slightly sluggish. He might want to rethink his position because Amir Yamin, not the fastest man, but how important was that had that gone to hand?
Yeah, and if you're lucky enough to see an analytical piece with Nick Knight, he pointed out exactly the way he should bowl to Rizwan. It was absolutely spot on. I think he should carry on and do all 28 days.
I think he will. This man's been absolutely fantastic over the last year. Here's a Duffer HBL PSL fact for you. Scored 2,036 runs in T20s in 2021. First batter to score more than 2,000 runs in a calendar year in T20s. Just fantastic. Where you don't want to be straight to him. As soon as you're straight, then he works the ball onside, scores a lot on that leg side, sometimes even gets across to manipulate the ball onto the onside, and doesn't look to go all crash bang and wallop up at the top. Actually just looks to find the gaps and is quite adept at doing it.
Yeah, an interesting matchup because Babar Azam normally opens with him, and their partnership has been superb, to say the least, throughout this past year or so. And he'll know exactly what Rizwan is thinking right now. Rizwan probably, if he gets it anywhere near his bat, he'll probably run for a single. But he'll also know the areas where Rizwan is trying to manipulate the ball or score boundaries. So interesting tactics that Babar will use, because he's the best man to know what Rizwan is thinking right now.
Yeah, third in the circle, and there's a man backward of point on the fence. Very good on the cut short. You don't really want to be short though early on. A freebie really. So what he's looking to do is hit length like he did first ball to him, and outside off.
Yeah, that's okay. You're all right there. You can stay there.
Good plan, really good plan. Ball outside off stump, slightly short of length, and it'll be interesting to see how now Rizwan reacts to this. There's been 3 deliveries here now, really well bowled, with the first one also falling short of slip. So, because Karachi Kings will obviously be missing the services of Amir and Imad Wasim, so also provides him an opportunity to see some of these other fast bowlers.
Very good first one. One without loss. Babar Azam and his partner, opposite number. And look at a comparison there. Average strike rate pretty much the same over their careers in HBL PSL. Complement each other quite well, and you wouldn't think so actually. If you look at that and they're the same, generally what you have is a big contrast where one's going sort of okay, middling. Single. Again. After first ball. Good youngster. That's Mohammed Imran. Decent pace on them. It's incredible in Pakistan. They just turn up absolutely everywhere. Looking at Waqar Yunus is behind us, and yeah, there'd be many kind of vying for spots in the national side from a very young age.
Got it wrong, Pommy. You're looking at Waqar Yunus. There's all left armers everywhere. It's not Waqar Yunus. It's Wasim Akram.
You're such a naughty fella. What, you're saying Waqar couldn't bowl, are you? You didn't have to face him.
I can't say it now because, yeah, but yeah, Wasim Waqar 2 Ws, but just the influx of left armers everywhere, yes. And we're talking about with David Gower, the Yorker, the perfect Yorker. Well, this guy could bowl it. This almost Yorker would hit you on the toe.
Yeah, I would ask where your toe caps. Favorite question.
Cut your toenails as well.
Helpful fella. Yeah. The good thing about having bowled particularly well and kept the score down is that even though the start is a little bit on the slow side, Rizwan is well experienced, won't feel that he needs to cut loose at all, and not chasing a big total, and so there isn't the pressure of the scoreboard. That's absolutely key for the Karachi Kings, as early ones, a couple. Oh, nearly. But with 5 leg up, Masood happy to take the risk, and going across, he'll pick up 4.
The idea was right, looking for the Yorker. Well, we can call this one the almost Yorker. Then Shan Masood doing really well to get his bat down and tickle it fine to the fence.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. Wants to be right in the stumps, but that time going for the Yorker. Went just a touch too straight and can't afford it with fine leg up in the circle. Did you do a good job is the question.
Well, if we see Buggy Cam alive and sort of rolling around, I think we did fantastic.
Yeah, but it's out of focus. That's the problem. It's alive and rolling around.
There we go. In fine shape, got some really nice wheels on it. You guys should give it a try.
You should give us lessons.
Done deal. Change in failure. Third man goes slightly wider with a shorter third man up in the fence. Shan Masood.
Yeah, good change of pace. Couple of decent overs. 7. Correction, 8 without loss. Two-leg side, and that's a beautiful shot. Good balance, good timing from Shan Masood. 4 more.
He's always been very good leg side. He shimmies across and flicks it away. Timing brilliant. It's a tick-tock super 4. And Shan Masood looks in good order.
Something to break the shackles. Amir Yamin bowled a really good first over, giving away just the 1.
Here's the bright-o, colourful fan of the match. And a sign ball from the winning captain. It'll take a second as well. Yeah, good effort. That's top work, alertness, awake to the opportunity and ready to take it, and didn't hesitate at all.
And Rizwan and Shan Masood will always test you in the field because they'll be off and running at any given opportunity. And there you go, Rizwan, very match aware, very aware of any sort of situation where he can get half a run even.
They don't count, mate.
Well, I know, Pommy, you're a great fan of Shan Masood, the way that he bats, and you talk really highly about him. This season, he's been averaging 71.71 in first-class cricket. He's got 300s and a total of 502 runs. So once you come into a T20 tournament, you come into the HBL PSL with form behind you, it gives you an added advantage. T20 cricket, very cruel. It's very cruel. You're out of form, you almost have no chance to get back into form.
Yeah, good running. Excellent work between Masood and Rizwan. And just to add on to that, he's kind of had to reinvent over the years, has Shan Masood, because his issue had been strike rate, and that he's very correct as a player and looks to ensure gets himself started in what you'd call the traditional way and would look just to get gaps. But with the game ever evolving and having to play all 3 formats and wanting to be in the teams for all 3 formats, you have to shift in terms of skills, in terms of mentality, and he's been able to do that.
Coming back to Shan, he obviously acknowledges and recognizes that he had to do that with the ever-evolving game, and he's really worked hard, gone back to the drawing board and developed not only shots but also maneuvering the ball. And he looks quite confident. They had a good PSL last year as well. And he will be eyeing come back into the Pakistan side as well.
Yeah, what you need too is an environment that allows you and to go out and express yourself. And this side, Multan Sultans, seem a quite happy side. Of course, easier to be happy when you're winning, but I think chicken and egg scenario with that. Shot, away it goes, sailing for 6. A beautiful strike. 21 without loss. Breaks the shackles, that. They've been struggling. 1 from 8 balls. And would have been sweating on something that he could put away. Mohammad Rizwan finally got it. And in a favourite area too. The search continues for a wicket. And dearly love an early one. Yeah, the running is good. The call was for 3. It'll just be a couple. But that call tells you what they're thinking, how they're thinking, in terms of pushing the fielders who are in the outfield.
Mohammad Rizwan spoiling that over. He gets into position very early and has very good hand-eye coordination. And that's where it is. He hits through the line after he's in that position. You saw that throughout the T20 World Cup as well. The Osaka power hit, bringing him a 6, spoiling Amir Yamin's over. Ended up with 13 at the end. And Rai smile, and why not?
Hit it well. And straight at the fielder as well. And partner at the other end in a bit of trouble. Had that hit.
That's what you get with Rizwan. He's always on his toes, always eyeing to sneak in a quick single. And I guess Karachi Kings recognizing that there'll always be a run-out opportunity. They are quick though, Shan and Rizwan.
Yeah, decisive, which is important. Beautiful. That is some shot. A slower ball picked and banged out the ground. 6 more.
Thoughts about a slow pitch ball not coming on. This is a slow one, pace off. And what does Shan Musu do? Just hits it through the line. That's a beautiful shot. And it's gone the distance and more. But certainly now coming into terms with the pace of the pitch, and it's looking easy.
One of the best shots in the book and most beautifully pleasing to watch. Underlights the pitch, playing slightly better. The ball seems to be coming on. Shan is raced to 22 of just the 12 deliveries. Work to do here for Mohammad Imran. Makes his way from Peshawar Zalmi over to the Karachi Kings.
Oh, might well be a couple on here. They are. Yeah, lots on. They've done a good job of this one. That's an Osaka over this. Oh, hello, the Osaka power run. Have a look. Need to pump the legs and the arms. Oh, see, Shan's not happy with that. He's laughing at it.
Probably you can show us how it's done.
Mazid is quite happy. is keen on demonstrations.
Sorry, didn't hear that. Should be concentrating on how Imran is delivering just outside off stump. Not about the power run or... It's all about intent for me. And the intent was to run fast. Yes, the technique, well, maybe not there.
He'll collect in that area. As 4 more. And what an over. 36 without loss. Festive. The buildings get taller and taller and taller. Happy on that side.
That's a proper sweep shot. It's almost played that in the air, back leg on the ground. It's a sweep shot. And he's picked up that slow one, leg side very strong, always Rizwan. Bowl into the stumps, he'll punish you.
Yeah, they've left outside off, and it is the area. You have to stay out there. Let him come and get you from there. Just doesn't score much there at all. Yeah, fielded. They need just a little bit of pressure, a few balls here and there. Haven't managed to put anything together, bar the first 2 overs. And since then, it's been ball after ball that's been in the area for the batters. And from a slow start, Rizwan's managed to get a couple of boundaries away. Now all the pressure goes back onto the bowlers.
This is that 6. This is not a sweep shot. This is a pickup shot, and then the sweep shot. He's got all those varieties. Just the one there. But the question is, I can describe that second shot, which is a sweep shot. How do you describe the previous 6? It's almost like a Moeen Khan-esque flick away, but it's neither a pull shot nor a sweep shot. It's something in between, and that's why it's so impressive. That's almost a Rizwan shot altogether. It's all Rizwan about it. You don't see many players other than him playing that sort of shot.
Yeah, and how he's so offside when he plays it. The first one goes offside because he's looking to get out of jail. He's 1 from 8, I think he was at the time, so needs to get one away. And so it's a go-to. But when you're out there like that, then he's not so adept off the front foot, of getting the ball in the gaps. He's quite happy as well to kind of leave some.
And that's what he's worked on. He's obviously started moving around in the crease laterally to allow him that space, as well as coming down and giving himself depth when required. But what works for him is getting into positions early and his fast hands just going through the ball. So I reckon, Baz, to answer your question, we can probably just patent the shot to the Riz shot.
Yeah, and if he whacks you, you want him to whack you from offside. And so the reason for that is it's not a favoured area, so he's taking some sort of risk. Doesn't like to just let the hands go outside off. Feels more in control, I think, when it's kind of on the body and he can stay tight. Hit that offside. HBL win forecast, well, no tie. And no guesses as to who's winning there at the moment.
Well, Pommy, when Baz is in the seat, a super over is always on. He's the guy who pulls them off. A huge cheer behind me for, oh no, but I'm sure we'd want one.
Taboo. You just don't say those words.
It's too early in the tournament, isn't it? Let the tournament develop.
With you, anything's possible, Baz.
Well, it's at the middle of the bat, but it's straight into the hands as well. There's the wicket they were after. It's out of absolutely nowhere because they're going so well. Masood striking it so well. He's gone. Got to go. Gregory with the catch.
Jubilee's safe hands catch. Stayed on the fence. Pulled out the dive just in time. A really good catch by Lewis Gregory. Celebrations from Mohammad Ilyas, and why not? Shan Masood walks back for 26 of the 18. Multan now 38 for 1.
यहाँ नेशनल स्टेडियम में सुहेब मकसूद आए हैं बैटिंग करने के लिए। वो स्टार बैट्समैन हैं मुल्तान सुल्तान्स के, पिछले टूर्नामेंट के बैटिंग हीरो थे। और नेशनल स्टेडियम जो है ये जाग उठा है उस विकेट के बाद। लगता है कि सहरा में बाहर आ गई हो, क्योंकि चुप चुप ज़्यादातर तमाशाई लग रहे थे जिस वक्त शान मसूद रिजवान के साथ बाउंड्रीज लगा रहे थे। उम्मीद आसिफ पावर प्ले का आखिरी ओवर करेंगे फॉरवर्ड से। मोहम्मद रिजवान को रोकना मुश्किल हो रहा है। इस बार भी चलते हुए खेले, बिल्कुल खातिर में नहीं लाए। और उम्मीद आसिफ का उन्हें खैर मकदम किया चौका लगाकर।
दोपहर से यही बात हो रही है कि रिजवान बहुत ही अच्छा खेलते हैं लेग साइड पे। इवन अगर आप बॉल सीधा भी करेंगे, एफर्ट जरूर की मिड ऑन पे, लेकिन बॉल बहुत अच्छा टाइम हुआ था। इवन जब आप बॉल रिजवान को विकेटों के बीच में भी करते हैं तो वो उसको खींच लेते हैं टांग की तरफ। तो बहुत जरूरी है कि ऑफ स्टंप के बाहर आ जाए।
यहाँ एक बार फिर उन्होंने खेला लेग साइड में, लेकिन रन एक ही मिलेगा। ये आखिरी गेंद जब बाउंड्री की तरफ जा रही थी तो खासी चमक थी उस पर, क्योंकि पारा गिरता है यहाँ कराची में शाम के बाद। उसके बाद बैटिंग कदरे सहल हो जाती है अगर पहली इनिंग्स से मवाजना करें। वक़ार
देखिए तारिक, अभी सिर्फ 5 ओवर हुए हैं और क्लियरली नज़र आ रहा है कि पिच बेहतर खेल रहा है। पहली इनिंग्स में पिच थोड़ा सा रुक के आ रहा था, बॉल उस तरीके से फ्लुएंट शॉट नहीं लग रहे थे कि आप खुले बल्ले से खेल सकें। तो अब आई थिंक आसानी होगी, इसीलिए टीमें यहाँ पर टॉस जीतकर पहले बॉलिंग करती है,
क्योंकि दोनों कप्तान जो हैं एक दूसरे को बहुत ज़्यादा जानते और पहचानते हैं। शायद अपने हाथ की लकीरों से भी ज़्यादा एक दूसरे की बैटिंग के बारे में जानते हैं। इस बार सिर्फ एक ही फील्डर को क्लियर करना था दायरे के दहाने पर, लेकिन शान ऐसा नहीं कर सके।
थोड़ा सा कहीं हाथ रोक लिया, अगर इस हाथों को जाने देते तो शायद बॉल ग्रेगरी के ऊपर से चला जाता। लेकिन कप्तान खुश, ग्रेगरी खुश, विकेट्स लेनी होंगी।
वैसे बात
और रनआउट का चांस, डायरेक्ट हिट और रिजवान का खात्मा हो सकता था, बड़ी विकेट मिल सकती थी। यहां पर बुलाकर रोक दिया, पूरा कॉल किया सोहेब ने। और आई थिंक रिजवान थोड़ा मुश्किल में भी हैं, शायद बैक का कोई मसल खिंच गया हो। ये देखिए बड़ी ऑकवर्ड पोजीशन में थे।
यहाँ ये आग और पानी का ही कॉम्बिनेशन है। रिजवान बहुत तेज दौड़ते हैं, सोहेब मकसूद विकेटों के दरमियान बहुत ज़्यादा दौड़कर रन बनाना पसंद नहीं करते, खासतौर पर जब 7 फील्डर दायरे के अंदर मौजूद हों। बाबर आजम देखिए दांत पीस के रह गए, एक विकेट और मिल सकती थी, यहाँ बराबर मौका था।
हाँ, विकेट यहाँ अगर मिलती तो एक फ़र्क पड़ सकता था, लेकिन यहाँ जो परेशानी मुल्तान सुल्तान के लिए है वो है रिजवान गिरे, रिजवान ने जो ब्रेक लगाई जिसकी वजह से ये हुआ, और इंजर्ड हो गए हैं, शायद बैक में प्रॉब्लम है।
यहाँ ये फैंटेसी लीग है, जुबली इंश्योरेंस माई स्टार 11 फैंटेसी लीग, इसमें आप हिस्सा ले सकते हैं और आप 1 करोड़ तक के इनामत पा सकते हैं। ये बड़ा सुनहरी मौका है आपका इस HBL PSL 7 के दौरान इनामत हासिल करने का।
ये कहीं ना कहीं परेशानी डाल सकती है मुल्तान सुल्तान को। पूरा स्ट्रेच किया, पूरा भागे और रुकना पड़ा, क्योंकि आप देख सकते हैं कि जो कील हैं पैरों के नीचे वो कई दफ़ा फंस जाते हैं, तो बैक पे झटका आ सकता है। फिजियो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उनकी बैक को मोबिलाइज किया जाए ताकि वो दोबारा खेल सकें, क्योंकि बहुत ज़रूरी है मुल्तान सुल्तान के लिए कि रिजवान विकेट पर रहें।
यहाँ क्योंकि अच्छा आगाज़ मिल गया है, यहाँ से जो दबाव है वो कराची किंग्स पे ही है, और अगर रिजवान को बाहर जाना पड़ा तो कराची किंग्स की टीम जो है वो खेल में वापस आ जाएगी।
टीम वापस तो ज़रूर आ सकती है कराची किंग्स, लेकिन देखना ये है कि उनके स्पिनर्स वो काम कर सकेंगे जो मुल्तान सुल्तान के स्पिनर्स ने किया। बहुत ही उम्दा बॉलिंग इमरान ताहिर की, ना सिर्फ रन्स नहीं लीक किए बल्कि विकेटें भी हासिल की।
यहाँ पर थोड़ी सी अगर हम रनिंग की बात कर लें, ये एंडी फ्लावर अब्दुल रहमान है, उनके साथ हैदर अजहर भी, ये मुल्तान का खेमा है, थिंक टैंक है मुल्तान सुल्तान्स का। तो वकार रनिंग में जो ज़्यादा तेज़ दौड़ता हो उसको, अगर आपका साथी जो है ज़्यादा तेज़ नहीं दौड़ सकता तो उसकी पेस पर आना ज़रूरी नहीं होता, क्योंकि वो आपकी पेस पर नहीं आ सकता।
बड़ी सीधी बात है कि अगर जो तेज़ नहीं भाग सकता वो तो नहीं भाग सकता ना, जो तेज़ भाग सकता है वो तो स्लो हो सकता है। रिजवान को यहाँ एहतियात करनी पड़ेगी, और ये पहली दफ़ा नहीं देखा, ये पहले भी हमने देखा है कि सोहेब को थोड़ा इशू रहता है विकेटों के बीच भागने का, और रिजवान जब साथ हो, क्योंकि रिजवान समझता है कि मैं तो पहुंच जाऊंगा, लेकिन रिजवान को इस वक्त दोनों का सोचना पड़ेगा।
मिस आउट करके।
और अगर आप शुरू में देखें तो जब शान मसूद और रिजवान खेल रहे थे, क्योंकि दोनों एक ही तरह के रनर हैं और उनको सब कई दफ़ा उनको कॉल भी नहीं करनी पड़ती, वो नज़रों से ही आपने एक दूसरे को बुलाते हैं। और जो सिंगल्स लिए, आई थिंक ये जो रन्स आप देख रहे हैं 43 पे 1, ये उसी का नतीजा है कि उन्होंने जो रोटेट स्ट्राइक किया ना उसका फ़ायदा हुआ।
और दोनों ज़्यादा फिट भी हैं, पाकिस्तान के 2 सबसे फिट क्रिकेटर्स में से हैं रिजवान और शान। स्ट्राइक रहेगा यहाँ पर सोहेब मकसूद के पास ही, पावर प्ले के बाद 44 पर 1। तो ये बैटिंग का दूसरा राउंड शुरू हो रहा है। रिचर्ड इलिंगवर्थ ने इसका इशारा दे दिया और साथ ही स्पिनर्स को भी आजमाया जा रहा है। मोहम्मद ताहा लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिन बॉलिंग करते हैं। ये ऐसे बैट्समैन हैं जो स्पिन बॉलिंग कर सकते हैं। ताहा, रिजवान बहुत ज़्यादा पिटाई करते हैं पावर प्ले में स्पिनर्स की, लेकिन पावर प्ले के बाद जो है उनका स्पिनर्स पर जो स्ट्राइक रेट है वो निस्बतन कम हो जाता है। इसलिए बाबर आजम जानते हैं और पावर प्ले के बाद ही लेकर आए।
T20 क्रिकेट हो, वनडे क्रिकेट हो या टेस्ट मैच क्रिकेट हो, स्पिनर का जो अहम रोल होता है, नॉन रेगुलर बॉलर हैं, आप क्लियरली देख सकते हैं क्योंकि बैट्समैन हैं जो कि बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं। आपको क्लियरली नजर आया कि शॉर्ट बॉल कंट्रोल नहीं था। होता ये है कि जब आपके नॉन रेगुलर बॉलर होता है तो वो एक दो बॉल तो अच्छे कर लेता है, लेकिन उसके बाद जब प्रेशर बिल्ड होता है तो फिर उसका टेम्परामेंट चेक होता है।
ये टबाल्टी लाउंज में क्रिकेट के परस्तार मौजूद हैं और ये सोच रहे हैं कि आगे जो अगला राउंड है अब इसमें कौन वार करेगा। अभी तक रिजवान जो हैं वो मौजूद हैं और बड़े दिलकश तरीके से उन्होंने खेला। रफ्तार ज़्यादा नहीं थी ताहा की, लेकिन फिर भी तो गैप में खेलकर बाउंड्री पाई। मिस सेंचुरी मुकम्मल हुई सुल्तान्स की।
एक दो फिर उसी तरह का बॉल जो पहली इससे पिछला बॉल था, कोशिश कर रहे थे कि आम बॉल की जाए, लेकिन पढ़ने के बाद थोड़ा सा शायद स्पिन ज़रूर हुआ, लेकिन रूम इतना था, जगह इतनी थी कि बाबर को नापसंद आया उनका ये बॉल। बाबर चाह रहे हैं कि बॉल विकेटों के अंदर किया जाए, विकेट लेने जाएंगे, विकेट मिलेगी तो यहाँ पर कराची गेम में वापस आ सकता है, वरना तो मैटर ऑफ प्लेइंग ओवर्स है।
यहाँ ये विकेट में ही गेंद करने की कोशिश की थी, लेकिन लगी नहीं विकेट पर। और क्योंकि बाबर आती हैं इमाद वसीम की मौजूदगी के, जो कि उन्हें बड़ा अच्छा कंट्रोल देते हैं पावर प्ले में भी और इनिंग्स मिड ओवर्स में भी, लेकिन यहाँ कमी महसूस हो रही है अपने स्टार स्पिनर की कराची किंग्स को। मोहम्मद नबी एक और स्पिन का ऑप्शन है इस बॉलिंग लाइनअप में। फिर गैप में चलिए, अच्छी फील्डिंग देखने में आई लुइस ग्रेगरी की जानिब से।
ना सिर्फ इमाद वसीम की कमी खली है, मोहम्मद आमिर की भी कमी मैं सोचता हूँ कि कराची को फील हो रही है, क्योंकि दोनों नए बॉल से गेंद करते हैं और दोनों ही आप नए बॉलर्स हैं, उनको आपने बॉल दे दिया तो थोड़ा सा प्रेशर बिल्ड होता है। सोचना पड़ेगा कराची को आगे जाते अगले मैचों में कि अगर दोनों नहीं अवेलेबल तो इनको रन ज़्यादा करने पड़ेंगे या किसी और को खिलाना पड़ेगा। 7 ओवर गए 55 पे 1।
शर्जील खान कराची किंग्स के आज वाहिद बैट्समैन थे जिनका स्ट्राइक रेट 100 से ज़्यादा रहा। इससे अंदाज़ा किया जा सकता है कि कराची के बैट्समैन थे कितना हाथ पांव मारते रहे। आज वो अपने होम ग्राउंड पे ही लुइस ग्रेगरी आ गए। पिछले सीज़न में इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड के लिए खेले थे। कराची किंग्स के लिए उनका डेब्यू करने का दिन है। दाएँ हाथ से करते हैं ये मीडियम फास्ट बॉलिंग। पाकिस्तानी टीम तो अच्छी तरह इनको जानती और पहचानती है, बैटिंग भी बॉलिंग भी।
बिल्कुल, अभी रिसेंटली आखिरी जो टूर पाकिस्तान का इंग्लैंड में हुआ था, बड़ी कामयाबियां मिली इनको बैट से, बल्ले से भी और गेंद से भी। लेकिन फ़र्क ये है कि कंडीशंस जो हैं वो बिल्कुल मुख्तलिफ हैं। यहाँ पे बहुत स्लो कंडीशंस हैं, विकेट पे कोई घास नहीं है। मुझे भी याद है वॉरिकशायर पे मैच हो रहा था बर्मिंघम में, तो इन्होंने बड़ी अच्छी
नए बॉल से बॉल किए और बड़ा मुश्किल डाली ब्राइटो मैस्कॉट।
यहाँ अच्छी गिनती है यहाँ तमाशाइयों की। नेशनल स्टेडियम कराची में बहुत अरसे के बाद गहमा गहमी देखने को मिली है। पहला मैच है इस कैलेंडर ईयर का यहाँ एसके पे, और जो ये टूर्नामेंट आगे बढ़ेगा यकीनी तौर पर बहुत ज़्यादा तमाशाई जो है दिलचस्पी लेंगे। ये पाकिस्तान का फ्लैगशिप इवेंट है पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट का। ये PSL बड़े धूमधाम के साथ आज शुरू हुआ है कराची में। गेम को स्विंग करते हैं ज़्यादातर लुइस ग्रेगरी, जिस तरह वकार कह रहे थे पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ वनडे सीरीज़ में इन्होंने नई गेम का इस्तेमाल किया था। अच्छी बैटिंग भी की थी लॉर्ड्स पर, उसके बाद बर्मिंघम थे। लेकिन ये उस तरह के बॉलर हैं जो शायद अपने बहुत ही अच्छे दिन पर अपने 4 ओवर मुकम्मल करेंगे T20 क्रिकेट में भी।
और अच्छी कंडीशंस होंगी, थोड़ा बॉलर्स को फेवर करती होंगी तो ये इफेक्टिव होंगे। आज प्रॉब्ली इनकी कोशिश होगी कि मैं कहीं ना कहीं जो कहते हैं ना कि चोरी कर लूँ, चोर बॉलर, उस तरह की बॉलिंग करनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि पेस नहीं है तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं स्लोअर वन, थोड़ा वाइड बॉल, थोड़ी अकल इस्तेमाल करनी पड़ेगी ज़्यादा। और इस टाइम मैं समझता हूँ कि कराची को विकेट्स की ज़रूरत है, तो इस तरह का बॉलर जो सिर्फ बॉलें चुरा रहा हो उसके लिए थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा विकेट लेना।
ये ऑफिशियल ऑयल पार्टनर जिक PSL 7 का जिक ऑयल। बॉलर्स पे दबाव आ जाता है इस T20 क्रिकेट में जब आप इतने कम रन्स डिफेंड कर रहे हों। आप पे ये डबल प्रेशर होता है कि आपको ज़्यादा रन्स भी नहीं देने, विकेटें भी लेनी हैं, तो ऐसे में बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल सूरत हाल हो जाती है जब कंडीशंस भी आपके खिलाफ जाने लगी आहिस्ता आहिस्ता।
तारिक इसलिए बहुत ज़रूरी होता है, और आगे आप चलते हुए देखेंगे जब टूर्नामेंट आगे बढ़ेगा तो जो स्पिनर की वैल्यू है वो बढ़ती चली जाएगी। बीच के ओवर आज भी इमरान ताहिर ने बताया आपको, इवन डेविड ने भी 1-2 ओवर किए बीच में, तो स्पिनर की वैल्यू बढ़ेगी। बीच के ओवर अगर आपके पास अच्छा लेग स्पिनर है या मिस्ट्री स्पिनर है जो कि परेशानी डाल सकता है, विकेट ले सकता है, तो वो बहुत बड़ा फर्क होगा टीमों में।
सुहेब शॉट शर्जील ने रोका, 8 ओवर्स के बाद 59 पर है।
For 1 so far in this innings, and I have to say, down here on the boundary, it's getting very wet. The dew is coming in thick and fast, and obviously making a difference to the batting wicket at the moment. But we did see Mohammad Rizwan go down a little bit earlier on in the piece, and he didn't get up anytime soon. So I thought I'd go straight to the source. We've got the physio Cliff Deacon from the Multan Sultans alongside me. Cliff, what happened to Rizwan, and how's he feeling?
You know, if you had a look at the slow-mo afterwards, his foot got a little bit stuck in the ground. Rizzy has had some back issues in the past, so we're just trying to keep on top of it. He's got a little bit of a stiff lower back, but that's all.
Obviously a long tournament as well, and he's such a crucial player for you guys. I suppose, what does your role look like in managing him moving forward?
So the thing is, Rizzy's not just an important player for Multan, he's a very important player for Pakistan. So, you know, a guy that just won the ICC award for best T20 player in the world. And we've got the Australian series coming straight after the PSL with like a 5-day turnaround. So for us, it's a long-term thing, making sure that that Rizzy stays up and running for the whole year. Because as you also know, is we've got the T20 World Cup down in Australia in October. So probably that's the main aim for now.
Yeah, he certainly really isn't a massive part of Pakistan cricket, so we want to make sure that he's back on the field. But just lastly, while we've got you, it's amazing to have an insight as to what your role looks like with a team like Multan Sultans, but also in COVID times, how that impacts the way that you treat and you keep your boys on the field.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been doing COVID now for about 2 years, so you learn quite a lot on the job. Essentially, the job stays exactly the same. You just adapt how you do it. For us, it's probably most important to try and stay ahead of everything, because you know the logistics around COVID tells you cannot just bring people in. You have to pick from within your side. So that's pretty much what we have to do. Try and make sure that they stay on the park.
Well, thank you so much for your insight. It's 64 for 1.
ये आप देख सकते हैं कि मिडवे जाकर जो सूरत हाल है वो बिल्कुल ही पलट गई थी जब विकेट गिरी है शर्जील की, और उसके बाद इमरान ताहिर बॉलिंग करने के लिए आए, तो बिल्कुल उसके बाद ट्रैफिक यकतरफा चलती रही है और अभी तक ये मैच जो है बिल्कुल मुट्ठी में। मुल्तान सुल्तान्स की कराची किंग्स की बॉलिंग है निस्बतन सहल लग रही है इस बैटिंग के सामने, बहुत ज़्यादा सहल लग रही है, क्योंकि खाली हाथ जो है वकार वो जाता नहीं है मुंह को। बैटिंग बहुत अच्छी है कराची की, इसमें बाबर आजम हैं, जो क्लार्क हैं, जिनसे बड़ी उम्मीदें हैं, लेकिन मोहम्मद आमिर, इमाद वसीम के जाने के बाद और कुछ खिलाड़ी और भी दस्तियाब नहीं हैं, तो बॉलिंग के दांत उतने नज़र आते नहीं।
और ऊपर से आपने फिर रन्स भी नहीं किए। अगर रन्स किए हों तो शायद एक इनकरेजमेंट, एक हौसला मिलता है बॉलर्स को, चाहे वो अच्छे हों या ना हों। अच्छी डाइव मारी, लेकिन गेंद बहुत तेज था, बहुत ही अच्छा टाइम किया हुआ बॉल था। थोड़ा सा शॉट इस पेस पर अगर थोड़ा सा पीछे करेंगे गेंद तो रिजवान आपको नहीं बख्शेंगे। करीब था लेकिन बहुत जोर से मारा हुआ शॉट, 4 रन।
रिजवान ने 2022 का जो आगाज़ है बिल्कुल वैसा ही किया है जैसा इख्तिताम किया था उन्होंने 2021 का। अपने करियर की बेहतरीन फॉर्म से गुजर रहे हैं। हाल ही में आईसीसी ने इनको साल का बेहतरीन क्रिकेटर करार दिया T20 में, जबकि 14 माह पहले तक सूरत हाल ये थी कि डोमेस्टिक T20 टीम में भी इनकी जगह पर सवालात उठ रहे थे पाकिस्तान में, लेकिन जब पोजीशन तब्दील हुई, ये ओपनिंग करने के लिए आए तो हालात बिल्कुल ही बदल गए और ये अर्श से वो फर्श की तरफ चले गए।
एक बात तो इनकी हमेशा पक्की थी कि हार्ड वर्किंग थे, मेहनत बहुत करते थे, अपनी गेम पर इम्प्रूव करना चाहते थे, पाकिस्तान के लिए खेलना चाहते थे। और जब सरफराज खेल रहे थे तो वो जगह नहीं बन रही थी, अपॉर्चुनिटी का इंतज़ार करना पड़ा। जैसे सरफराज अभी अपनी अपॉर्चुनिटी का, अपने मौके का इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं, इसी तरह रिजवान ने भी काफ़ी अरसा इंतज़ार किया और फिर जब अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली, बारी आई तो फिर उसको अवेल किया। और फिर भी जब ये नीचे के नंबरों पे खेल रहे थे तो उतने साजगार नहीं थे, लेकिन जो ही ऊपर अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली, और इस पर मैं क्रेडिट मिसबाह उल हक को दूंगा, उन्होंने बड़ा कोशिश किया कि नहीं ये ओपनर कामयाब हो गए। हाँ, तब्दीलियाँ इसने अपनी गेम में बहुत सारी की, पिकअप शॉट खेलना शुरू किया, पॉजिटिव खेलना शुरू किया, स्ट्राइक रेट इम्प्रूव किया। तो ये सारी चीज़ें जब इतनी इम्प्रूव की तो ऑफ कोर्स रिजल्ट आपके सामने है। अल्लाह ताला ने इनको बहुत सारी इज्जत बख्शी, बहुत सारी शोहरत बख्शी, बहुत ही उम्दा खेल रहे हैं पाकिस्तान के लिए अभी।
और यहाँ ओस आ गई है और यहाँ बॉलर्स के लिए और ज़्यादा मुश्किल होने वाली है। पिछले साल जब PSL के मुकाबले हुए थे तो शाम की टीमें बैटिंग करती थी दूसरी बैटिंग उन्होंने ही ज़्यादातर मैचेस जीते थे मासिवा एक गेम इसमें मुल्तान की शिकस्त हुई कोयटा के हाथों 1 रन और इत्मीनान के साथ हासिल किया कप्तान रिजवान ने तो 10 ओवर्स के बाद 71 पर है।
Firmly driven, and there are plenty of opportunities for the ones. It has evened up. This chase has definitely evened up as we've got into the mid-range of this innings. 72 for 1. Opportunities are there for these singles every ball, each and every ball, and that keeps things ticking. Three balls, 3 singles, all very steady.
All rather comfortable with the Sultans.
That's straight down the ground. That is beautifully placed. It's beautifully struck. It's got the distance. Forget the casual singles. This is as far as it has to go, all the way.
He's a powerful player, Suhail Maqsood, especially against spin. He's a 6-hitter, and he won't be content with just plodding the ball around. He'll smash it down the ground. Use of the feet, bright or colourful drive, flat 6.
Well, that changes all the maths for this over very, very comfortably indeed. Back the ones, might just, no, won't need to press for 2, just happy to take the 1. 45 needed, 56 balls available.
Yeah, a charge wouldn't go amiss, just to make sure that early on you have the upper hand, use the advantage, so to speak.
$82 for 1. Yeah, the other thing that even at this very, very early stage of the tournament is worth bearing in mind is if things get close in a month's time or so, things like net run rate come into play. We saw that in HBL PSL 6 where there were sides out of it in the last few games because their run rate was so poor, their net run rate was so poor that even if they won games they were not going to make up the difference. So that would be the bonus tonight for Multan Sultans. If they can just add a bit of weight to this victory, cruise through with plenty of time to spare.
As always, we've got the Hamare heroes in the HBL PSL, and Saeed Zafar Abbas Jafri is a social worker and the founder of JDC, a welfare organization serving humanity with the vision to reach each and every deserving human being with no discrimination in color, caste or religion. Let's hear from him.
मेरा नाम ज़फ़र अब्बास है और मैं जनरल सेक्रेटरी हूँ जेडीसी वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन पाकिस्तान का। 3.5 लाख मरीजों का सालाना फ्री डायलिसिस, भूख के खिलाफ जंग में तमाम सरकारी अस्पतालों के बाहर खाना और दीगर सहूलियात उनको फराहम करना और दुखी इंसानियत की खिदमत करना।
He provides food for the needy. He makes sure that everybody is provided for, and social worker and Hamara hero.
रोजगार लोगों में रोजगार की फराहमी, उनके लिए हज़ारों मोटरसाइकिलें, ठेले, रिक्शे फराहम करना, दस्तरखान 26 मकामात पर कराची में और पाकिस्तान भर में, इस्लामाबाद, लाहौर, मुख्तलिफ जगहों पर दस्तरखान का एहतमाम करना.
Brilliant, providing motorcycles, rickshaws, the works, food for the poor, the needy. Everybody's been taken care of.
मैं सिर्फ यही पैगाम दूंगा कि भूख के खिलाफ जंग में हमारा साथ दें, आएँ, हमारे साथ मिल जाएं, लोगों के गली मोहल्ले घरों तक खाना पहुंचाएं. और एक बार फिर मैं शुक्रिया अदा करूंगा HBL PSL का और इन्वेक्स सोलर एनर्जी.
A beautiful message of making sure to eradicate hunger, and he goes a long way in doing so.
Well, thank you to Umaid. He's signed the shirt, the Embrace shirt. Well, for Karachi Kings at this stage, the only thing they can hope for is to slow things down enough just to cause a few jitters in the chase. And they're doing his best in this particular over, that's for sure. $86 for 1. $39 needed from 48. Required run rate has slid very nicely below 5. Yet another change in the bowling, Mohammad Nabi. Don't know how you put pressure on. If you're Karachi Kings at this stage with the field set basically normally, how do you put pressure on with that? Of course, if you bring it in, people just go over the top. It just accelerates the process. So this is, I guess, just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, bowling in hope for an error. Want to hit it to somebody.
Well, even that's a little bit short of a length. It has just gripped slightly in the pitch. Now, this is extraordinary. This is the J. Super over. Third umpire, fourth umpire, on-field umpires might just be questioning the action just gently. God loves a trier. And you get you get your rewards, of course, in this life.
15 degrees, David, 15 degrees. You've got that much to play with.
About 180. What's the technical term? Hyperextension, isn't it? That's the one that some people hide behind.
Got it in one.
Yeah. $89 for 1 after 13. Well, a long way to go in this tournament, of course. Day one out of, what is it, 34 matches, I think it is, in HBL PSL, version number 7. But it looks like being a very promising start for the current champions. And looks like being a slightly tricky one for the home side here today, Karachi Kings. Just one thought about this tournament. Right on day one, there are 1 or 2 players still engaged overseas. For instance, the West Indies and England have a current T20 series. Some of the players involved in that will be joining HBL PSL 7 in due course in the not too distant future. It's hammered, but straight to mid-off. There are various players isolating at the moment. That little thing, that little bug has struck. And 1 or 2 others with injuries. For instance, Mohammed Amir in this, or would have been in this Karachi King side today, but for a side strain. So we're not at full strength yet this tournament. So lots can change, lots can move on.
Much bluster from Maqsood. It struck a few that have gone out the ground, but perhaps it's an illustration of the surface and the way it's gone. 24 from 29. Been playing all those shots, you'd expect him to be at a better rate. I do think this is the time, though, as they get closer, to just try and strike a few, get them out the ground. And yes, it might run them into trouble, but they shouldn't have failed to get over the line from here. And they can use the advantage of having got here. And as you said, David, it might be early, but you don't want to miss out on net run rate.
Oh dear, Joe Clark, as the man with the gloves, has let that slip, and then this ball is going in several different directions almost simultaneously. An error from Clark, which brings a smile, and then the flick back on the boundary, almost to another boundary. It was the slower ball to start with that maybe started confusion. He pitches and maybe slides a little bit off the field, but nothing behind it, Joe Clark. Only half a glove and no body behind it. That's a good piece of work right on the edge, except for the flick back that then misses the assist.
Pommy, you've touched upon power hitting and you think they need to go right now. Well, they've got power in the batting ranks as well. They've got Shoaib Maqsood batting out there. Then you've got Tim David as well, who strikes a long ball. And then they've got Khushdil Shah as well. So the middle order is a powerful middle order. It's not necessarily a middle order will run you singles, but it can hit everything out of the ground. And with what? Just over 32 runs required, you can almost finish it off in a couple of overs.
Well, you can, and Shoaib Maqsood is one of those men with the power to do it. And the other, I suppose, the other side of that same coin is just get the job done safely and soundly. But he's gone for that one. He has gone big time for this. Into the stands it goes. So nonchalant, so easy. 99 for 1. Not much that Babar Azam can do at this stage, to be honest. The game, unless something, it's one of those days where something very strange is followed by something else even stranger, and it's followed by something else yet stranger still. In fact, even bizarre. This game is as good as one, but taken on for granted. 26 needed, 36 balls left. But a couple more shots like that and you've broken the back of even the 26. Rizwan, 42 now from 36. Played some gorgeous shots early on. 100 for 1 now. 100 comes up, leaving just another 25 for victory, and that was a huge hit. Oh, well taken. Very straightforward in the end, just slipped down the leg side. Masood just let that slip away. He moved just that little bit too early. And then it's just helped on its way down the leg side. Couldn't get a bat on it. Nobody behind it. Joe Clark takes it nicely. Nabi strikes. It might be a consolation. It might be no more than that.
He's a really clever bowler. Here's Nabi, saw him coming, fired it down leg side. Sohaib Masood stumped for 30. Multan Sultans 101 for 2 as Sohaib Masood walks back, and it's time for the Tapal T strategic timeout.
So just counting out of the Tapal Danadar strategic timeout. How much strategy was discussed, I'm not quite sure, during that 3 minutes. Because at this stage, Multan Sultans are very much in command of this first game of this tournament. The man leading the way has been the captain. Mohammad Rizwan played some super shots early on just to get things going. Boundaries as well. And he is 42 not out from 36. So just 24 runs needed for victory. Oh, that's turned. That has turned. That's beautifully bowled. Now he's bowled beautifully down the leg side to get the stumping the previous ball. They've had the strategic timeout. They've talked about this ball turning. Obviously, they've talked it into turning, and that has turned a long way. Rousseau, the new batsman. And that is... Oh, he's recovered well. Recovered well there.
Somehow he's managed to stop that. He went to the left hand, right hand. Well, he's done well enough to save the boundary.
Ow!
Ooh, this is... I mean, it might be a little bit too late, but Mohammad Nabi is getting some grip here. First of all, you had this one, which was cleverly bowled because Mahsood was on his way down outside the off stump, couldn't get bat on it. Joe Clark completes the operation. Then it started to turn, and it's still turning. Question being gently asked of Richard Illingworth whether or not that might as well flicked off the glove on the way through. Just have a look at this just to see. I mean, okay, forget all the rest of it. Just have a look at this, and in fact, the third umpires can have a look at that as well. There's a little deflection.
Director, review for caught behind. Yes. Yeah, it's a player review for caught behind. Front foot, please. Stand by waiting for front foot. Yes, fair delivery. Front on spin vision, please. Nice and slow. Ball is close to the gloves to confirm ultra edge, please. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Yeah, roll back, and freeze when ball is next to the bat. Yeah. Yeah, roll back. Now roll back. Yeah. Roll back and freeze. There is a spike when ball is next to the bat. No gap between ball and bat. Can you go back on field, please? Richard, I recommend you to change your original decision. You are on screen.
Can you come back to me on the radio, please?
Richard, you are on screen. I recommend you to change your original decision.
Well, the decision from Arslan Raza, the third umpire, which discerned that tiny little flick of the edge, means that it is indeed a catch behind. Rousseau has to go for just 2. The review works for Babar Azam. It means it's Multan Sultans are now 3 down for 103. Disappointment for Rousseau, just the tiniest of flicks off the bat. But he goes for 2, 103 for 3. Tim David punches that straight down the ground to long on. Ends an eventful over, 104 for 3.
Short and wide. Allows that to go because of a bit of exercise for Alim Dar. Got that one on target. 20 required, that's all. 30 balls now. Here's a look at the dismissal. The umpires actually say this is the hardest to give, which just runs up the edge of the bat, really, because the edges these days are so thick. And of course the TV umpire adjudicated that one quite comfortably and made the right call. Riley Rousseau was a little bit amused, I think. He was seemed to be quite happy in the middle with his partner.
Little feather on. Right idea. Looking to play sweeps and reverse sweeps and try and get a few away. And a couple of wickets would have spooked him a bit. But shouldn't do. I think they should try and play a few shots. The wickets don't really matter. Just get it done as soon as possible.
Another look at Ultra Edge as the heart murmur. Confirmation. Just strolling through for one. Wonder what those in Tapal T corner are thinking. In the lounge, what are they thinking now? Come back stronger.
I reckon they're wondering if there's time for their tea.
Probably exactly right. Another single. I heard you talk about net run rate, Pommy, early in proceedings. Maybe they should be looking at that right now.
Yeah, it shouldn't come as a surprise at the back end of the tournament.
That's out of the middle, but it's grasped. Got his hands just underneath that. End result is just a single. Babar Azam is not particularly happy. 16 overs gone, 109 for 3. .16 in 24 balls is what's required now. There's an appeal. I think it's outside the line of off stump, and so does the man in black. I wonder if they're going to go upstairs. There's the DRS timer. 15 seconds they've got. Yep, there it is. A sneaky little look.
Third umpire to director. Review for LBW. Front foot plays. Fair delivery. Front on spin vision, please. Ball is close to the bat to confirm ultra edge, please. Keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. Flat line, roll through pads. Satisfied, no bat involved. Go for ball tracking when ready, please. Original decision not out. Pitching outside of impact umpire's call. Wicket sitting. Can you go back on field, please? Richard, stay with your original decision. You are on screen. Make a signal not out.
Very, very close indeed. Umpire's call was the only thing that saved him. Just outside.
Any other day, he would have raised the finger and it would have stuck with umpire's call. Unfair, Mohammad Nabi would say.
Nice, baby.
Richard Ellingworth telling him, it's your call, mate.
That was smiles over there from the umpire and the captain as well.
Nice that, actually. The fact that players over time, I guess, they come to understand and accept that, look, luck of the draw that time, not your way today.
There with the purchase. Picking up the one. So it's only 15 required now, 20 balls to go. Coasting, Multan Sultans.
I reckon comfortable would be if they're managing to whack a few away and, you know, get it done quickly. I said a bit earlier, I think they got spooked by the couple of wickets that went down, that LBW shot as well. And that could have been another. Would have been another one gone down. And they found it a bit difficult to close it out here at the back end. Don't know, early season jitters, start of the tournament, all of that.
Stronger punch down the ground. I guess they had a chance with Rizwan missed the run out when he was 17. Just 2 off that over, 111 for 3.
Of 2 and 3 here and there right at the back end. Normally when you get to this point as a side who's dominating the game, you know, all these bowlers have failed to trouble their opposition, mainly because it's just 124 on the board. I expect that shots we played at them, not so. They've dragged it out. That's a good job on its own.
Imran again. Das missed that. Tim David on strike now. Out of Singapore, 6'5". Had a bit of an opportunity to see some of his off-spin earlier today. I'm not sure we'll see too much more of it later on. He's known for his batting skills. That's his #1 art. Sweeper into play.
Yeah, good addition to the side. It's a good team, champion side, of course. He was with the Calandras. Tim David, and showed in that side what he can do in terms of power hitting. Really good striker.
Amazing the start they had last year, losing most of the games initially, just winning 1 out of 5 when they started, and then came strong right at the end. Ended up winning 6 out of 7 to go on, and that included the final. So then they raised the cup.
Yeah, change of venue, change of form. Let's look at their squad, and he's a good addition, and I think he'll do a good job. But just consolidating the side they had, and many with a part to play. Rodman Powell just smashed a few yesterday, I think that was.
ball. Just ran past that one. Comfortable single.
Tommy, coming back to your point, Brockman, Powell, Odean, Smith only will add that much more impetus and firepower to this Multan Sultan side, which anyways look a very good unit. And Karachi, on the other hand, obviously missing out on Imad Wasim and Amir. But again, tells them what the rest of the bench is made up of.
Gone over the top. That's a very strong shot. That is superbly played. Second last ball of the over. That travels for 4.
They'll probably check where it's landed. Look very close to the cushion there, as Rizwan also brings up his 50 from just the 45 deliveries. His 6th 50 in his last 13 T20 matches. He's played a sheet anchor role, not just for Pakistan, even for Multan Sultans now, and 7 now required from the 13.
The best part about his 50 is the fact that he got back onto his feet after that time and was on his back for quite a while. After injuring that back that he has to look after so carefully. That was the attempted run out where that happened. 119 for 3.
It's a beautiful strike, and early in his innings doesn't take this on generally when it's outside off, doesn't want to go over extra cover. And it's really Fulton throw his hands through, but is cautious, likes to play tight to the body, work the ball onside, and so that's why it's okay for bowlers to work what would be a test line outside his off stump. But it's a way that has worked tremendously. A couple of thousand runs in a year. Just brilliant work from Mohammad Rizwan.
6 to win. That's all it is now. That single now makes it 5. Mohammad Rizwan has just been in remarkable form in T20 cricket for a long time now. And again, he's leading his charges.
And with their bolstering of their squad, it's an embarrassment of riches, really, and it will be about form, who has form.
He's hit that well. He's hit that a long way, and that is it. It is all over. They win by 7 wickets to Multan Sultans. This has been a really good performance by them. The way that they restricted Karachi Kings to just 124, I thought was outstanding, and just kept picking up wickets at all the right time. And from then on, it was really just going to be a one-way street because there weren't enough runs on the board. But the captain, Mohammad Rizwan, yet again has led by example.
Most important is to get on the board as the champions trying to defend their title. I want to make sure that they start well, and this is a fantastic start. 10 balls to spare by 7 wickets. Their skipper out there as he was pretty much all through last season, or a large part of it in the victories that they got. And a recruit come into the crease and putting the finishing touches to things. Also illustrating what power he does have. A good hit. A solid hit to finish.
Winning in style, Tim David smacked that away for a huge 6. And Rizwan and his men from the onset of the match were in control and were in control throughout. Comfortable victory in the end. Fantastic to see the captain walk off, not out. That's the winning hit. Too short in the slot for him to hit it. And he makes good use of his long levers, dispatches it away. Wins in style for Multan Sultan.
6'5" of solid muscle. A little nod to the captain as well, and a bit of a high five, a little celebration as they get over the line. It's so important to get points nice and early, to get that change room buzzing in the right sense, and to set an early tone. That's a really important part of T20 cricket. It's one of the formats where momentum plays a really important role, I feel, and this will do them the world of good. Of course, the Kings, Imad Wasim certainly laid low, is one guy they've missed dramatically in this game, and that just make up those really important overs because he's so economical normally. and also Mohammed Amir. So they're hampered by the loss of a couple of players, but hopefully they'll be back in the lineup before too long. But a really good, convincing performance by Multan Sultans. Okay, let's go downstairs and join Aaron.
Finishing off the match for the Multan Sultans in style was Tim David. Tim, probably not your night with the ball, but how good was it to bring up those winning runs with a massive six like that?
It's a nice feeling to get one out the screws, and obviously it's nice to have a win first up.
New team for you as well with the Multan Sultans. What's your time been like so far with these?
It's been really fun. The boys are energetic. There's lots of pretty funny characters in the group, so it's been really good so far.
How about Mohammed Rizwan as well behind the stumps? How great is he as a captain?
Yeah, he's good. He just backs you in. We're here to have fun, so it's been really good.
Now, you did play last year for the Lahore Qalandars, but you're in Abu Dhabi, so it's your very first game here in Pakistan. Yep. How about this crowd?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's not even close to capacity. What is it, 15 or 20%? So it'd be amazing to play here in a full crowd. It's pretty loud.
Oh, well done tonight. Fantastic to see you as part of the HBL PSL, and we'll see you next game.
Thank you.
Long in stature, short in